Alright. Hey, right. What's up, people? Let's see, we got anyone in here? Hold up. Cam Jam, JP, Moneyless Maven, to Platypus. Cam Jam, thank you, man. What's up? What is up? Just cracked open the Keystone. Let's go. Alright, let me get myself up here. Yeah, a bit of a different time streaming for us. So we'll see who shows up, but you know, weekend had a little bit of time. Why was the Keystone Clash canceled, man? We're gonna have to take a look at all that and see if we can figure out. Then I might just read through some stuff and you know, just the usual random shit. But what you guys been up to? Guys been watching anything good? Anything fun? Weekend plans? I mean, shit, it's Sunday. Come on, this is your chance. The plans, I guess, start. Hopefully, they're starting by now. Definitely want to go back to the calendar, kind of see what kind of events are coming up. You know what I mean? Like, just check back into what's going on with the whole fish event world. I feel like there's like a Killy event happening right now. So now is the, let me see. I don't even remember. It's hard to keep track of things sometimes. Shout out to the replay crew, the lurkers. If you're here, give me like 5 minutes. Let me just get warmed up into things, and then we'll get into everything. But yeah, I guess kind of big news for people that like going to different auctions and stuff like that. Camden said, Jeff's auction was cool last night. Ross's panda guppies are so nice, but I have no business getting guppies. Mexicali said, you see what you caused. You shouldn't have picked on the Clash. I'm going to say this at the beginning, you know, because I'm just kind of in a good mood, so I'm a little bit loose. I got to open for Fetty Wap the other night. That was kind of fun. So my body's like exhausted though. It was only like a couple songs, but like we do this thing where I jump over everyone else in my group, and the crowd was screaming so fucking loud I couldn't hear a damn thing. It was a really crazy and fun experience. I'm just tired, so let me just, you know, as I'm warming up, you know, an event like the Keystone Clash takes a lot of work, a lot of coordination, a lot of volunteer hours, you know, volunteer run. So shout out to all the people working on that, you know. Let's acknowledge the difficulty involved in that. But the Mexicali saying, you see what you caused, you shouldn't have picked on the Clash. I did not cause the mismanagement of this event. You know what I mean? We're gonna go through kind of everything, but I feel like there's definitely some interesting decisions. The reaction to the Clash being canceled has also been kind of interesting to watch. Like, there's all sorts of emotions. Some people are really mad. Mexicali says, you know it was coming when they started getting rid of the organizers. Well, did they get rid of anyone else besides Scotty? Because, like, here's the thing, and I guess we'll start getting into it, but like I see a lot of different reasons, and there was I think Joel posted an actual like reasoning for why they canceled the Clash, but you know, one of the things that come up is like, oh, Scotty was doing everything, they got rid of him, so the event collapsed, which is like, you know, if that's true, that just I feel like it just makes everything worse. If one person could cause the demise of your entire event, like, that's kind of crazy to me. So I don't know if I fully buy that, but like, you know what I mean? I definitely heard that. Let me pull up the post that they put up. So if you're just hearing for the first time, or you're not familiar, the Keystone Clash is a event that's been going on pretty regularly for a while. I went at least 2 years in a row. I believe I went 2 years in a row. Um, yeah, and it's been going on for a while. Let me just say Keystone Clash. And I think the last time I feel like it was canceled was like because of COVID or whatever. But if you go to the page now, we get this statement here that says, "Dear Keystone Clash attendees, it is with great disappointment that we share the news that we'll be canceling the 2026 Keystone Clash event. This was not an easy decision, and we understand how many of you look forward to this event each year. We truly appreciate your support, enthusiasm, and commitment to making Keystone Clash such a special experience. Refunds for all sponsorships, vendors, and attendee registrations will be issued as soon as possible. We appreciate your patience as we process those. If you booked your hotel using the Keystone Clash group code, the hotel will begin canceling these reservations next week. You will receive a confirmation email once your reservation has been canceled. You also may cancel it yourself, etc. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciate your understanding during this time. Thank you again for your continued support of the Keystone Clash. We hope to be able to gather again in the future. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the admin." Cam Chen says, "Scotty is so cool, he makes everyone else look bad." Scotty propaganda is crazy. Although this is kind of a similar statement in some ways to when they removed Scotty, which I thought was interesting. This whole, like, if you have any questions, contact us at the email. Like, I kind of wish they would just put the reasons for things in posts like this. Because immediately after they put this up on Facebook, everyone's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" Like, they're all freaking out, like, you know, trying to figure out what's going on, accusing, different things, making up their own reasonings for why it may have happened. And I think that it just makes things a bit more chaotic when you do things this way. And I feel like to talk about this, you gotta talk about the Scotty stuff since that seems to be relevant. But I will say that Scotty told me like a while ago, he was like, if there's not more sponsorships by the end of March, I think they're gonna have to cancel the event. Shit, I guess he was right. You know what I mean? So that's the event page there. Then we also had a post on Facebook announcing it, so they definitely cover their bases as far as posting this announcement everywhere. And initially, this is the graphic that you would have seen on Facebook, and in the comments, it immediately was kind of like, "Yo, what's going on?" You know what I mean? Like, I think Steve's like, "This is crazy." I know Steve is pretty upset. They're like, "It's not April 1st. What's up?" They're like, "Why? Is everyone okay?" Tanner's like, "Oh, like what the heck's going on?" So I feel like it's like immediate, just kind of like confusion. Let me double check the chat again. What's up, Jeff? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so first we just get like this blanket. We canceled the event. Now the event happens in September and it's April. So you have to imagine things must have been looking pretty bad if they're canceling it this far in advance. Like, no hope for it to be, for it to be resolved, perhaps. Now we got an explanation from Joel on the Keystone Clash group page for the reason, with some history about the event. So he says, it was the evening of Friday, May 1st, 2015. The annual convention of the American Library Association, being hosted by the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County, was just getting started. He kind of goes through the history of the Keystone Clash and talks about how after the pandemic, the Keystone Clash was one of the first hobby events to return. It would return in a streamlined form, but the event was still a mild financial success for both clubs. It seemed that most attendees were very happy to be able to get back to fish heading again in 2022. The Clash would expand beyond the Holiday Inn. So he's just going over the history of the thing. But then at the end, he gives some insight into the reasoning for why it closed. which he says, enter 2026. There were several changes within both clubs, as well as the Clash Committee at the end of 2025 and beginning of 2026. I won't go into detail on that here. Now, both clubs, I'm not going to pretend like I'm the expert of the goings-on of both of these clubs. So that's the Cyclic Club of York and Aquarium Club of Lancaster County. I feel like that's got to, at least for ACLC, be referencing them removing Scotty from his position as a president. I forget what the official name for his position for the Clash was actually called, but he seemingly was heavily involved in that. And we can go all the way back to when that happened. So when he says enter 2026, there are several changes within both clubs. I won't go into detail on that here. I think he's referencing this, where they put out, Dear membership, we're writing to inform you that moving forward, Scotty Schmidt will no longer be involved with the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County. This includes the Keystone Clash. Given this change, there are senior leadership changes that will be in effect for the remainder of 2025. Michael Bachma has been appointed by the board of directors to serve as president and co-chair for the Keystone Clash. Joe Rosenbald has been appointed by the board of directors to serve as president. Should you have any concerns relating to charges, please feel free to reach out to any member of the board. So they did the same strategy here. If you have any questions, reach out instead of providing an explanation in the post. Which, what I think this method of removing Scotty did was basically leave a lot of room for people to just take sides based on whoever they last or first talked to. You know? Because now to find out what happened, you've got to get a bunch of different sides from different people. Maybe not on an official level. There's a lot of he said, she said situation going on. And I think that I don't think it turned out to really benefit the process. I think there probably was a better way to go about it. And to me, this cancellation statement is kind of similar. So that does keep coming up. So Joel continues here that, yeah, I won't go into detail here. Then there were some assholes that scheduled another major event. So that's Aquashella, which was scheduled in Chicago on the same date. I will never support the event for the same weekend as the Clash, despite the Clash dates being advanced more in a year, which would give any entity planning an event plenty of time to arrange around another date. Now, this is like some next level delusional thinking. Like, I'm sorry, Aquashella is a franchise event that has multiple cities. I don't think the Clash event date was really a factor for them. I'll be honest. Like, I don't even know that it should have been. They're not really in size. It's not really a comparable event. So to think that they would actually care about your date, it's kind of wild. Really, best case scenario, maybe you could have found a way to change. Maybe you could have found a way to change the Keystone Clash event, which probably would have been pretty hard. So I don't know that that'd be realistic. But like, I don't think Aquashella cares about when a lot of other events are going on. GS Jang said, wait, small world, I saw you at the auction in Maryland, just realizing where I know your face from. Hey, what's up? That was a fun auction. Hope you had a good time. Okay, so we're getting some reasons coming in here for the Clash being canceled. So first, we got some leadership changes, I guess. And then now we're getting some blaming of Aquashella, which I'm not really that sympathetic to, I'm going to be honest. I just think it's far enough away, and I think it's a different enough event. And even in this next sentence, he says, with competing events, sponsorships were way down, and while pre-registration attendance numbers were down, they weren't at event-killing levels. However, the combination of lack of sponsorships with lower than normal attendance to date, the decision was made to cancel the event for 2026 before the clubs would be hit too hard financially. What's up, Mick? How's it going? This was to be my last Keystone Clash, etc., etc. Reminiscing on the past. So the reasons given here for the Keystone Clash being canceled is essentially changes within the club and the Clash committee, which seems to be referencing Scotty. I guess within both clubs, CCY gave Lonnie the boot too, so maybe that's the two changes, but I have no idea. Aquashella, they're gonna blame Aquashella. I don't know about that. And then they said that attendance numbers were down, but they weren't at event killing levels, which makes it seem like it's more of a sponsorship thing. Which we did do a stream a while back where we went through the sponsors, and I said, look, if you want the clash to happen, you guys need to start sponsoring some stuff because it's not looking very good. Well, here we are. Here we are. And I guess it ended up indeed not looking very good. What is up? What is up? Yes, Mick, I can't believe you're so late. I can't believe you're so late. Now, I think what's interesting is like even the people involved with the clash, like you get all sorts of different reasons. But this boycott concept, I've had people talk to me like personally about it, but I saw that Lonnie did leave a comment on the page talking about it too. So like I'm kind of curious what people think. Like, was there a Keystone Clash boycott? Because here Lottie says the reason the Clash was canceled this year is quite simple. Over the years, the YouTube people were made a big part of the Clash. They were responsible for over 100 plus registrations. They boycotted the Clash this year over a person's unfortunate behavior, which again, it seems to be referencing Scotty. The Clash was becoming a YouTube event. Now YouTubers have their place in the hobby. Yes, they're part of the hobby, but the Clash was for the people who do weekly water changes, breed fish, so many other hobbies could have fish, blah, 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 blah. So YouTubers responsible for over 100 plus registrations, and Lonnie saying they boycotted the Clash this year over a person's unfortunate behavior. Now, I'm kind of curious, like, how many YouTubers just decided not to go, maybe are going to an Aquashella instead? Like, this is where I, like, have to ask some of you people, like, did anyone boycott the Clash over anyone except for themselves? Because for me, I didn't want to go to the Clash because I just have a chip on my shoulder with several people that are either going to be there or involved in planning it. So I was like, I don't really feel like going. So I was already talking about going to Aquashella Chicago. So it's kind of like from my perspective, a lot of people were really upset about this being canceled, but I already wasn't going to go. But I definitely wasn't because of I was mad that someone was removed from a position. Fish NJ said so much beef in the community. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say exactly what everything is. Again, it's a volunteer-run organization. Jeff said, I'm not attending because it's always on a weekend my wife works. Aquashella is closer, so I can pull that financial burden off. Well, there you go. Okay, one YouTuber not boycotting the event. I think that like I said, it's, volunteer event, all that kind of stuff. That being said, if things were this bad, I feel like if there was more of an effort to gain some support, help save the event. I mean, hey, maybe even now people are working to save the event. You never know. A lot of people are really upset, very passionate. People look forward to this. They plan their travel around this. So I definitely saw a lot of people that seemed to be willing to try and figure out what was going on and help it out. So I do feel like it's not really a great feeling for everyone involved. Everyone involved at all. Let me see. Let me go to the website. Can I even see anything? Because to me, a lot of things about the event seemed all right. Like the speaker lineup. I thought the speaker lineup was great. I don't know if you guys saw that. Fish NJ, were you planning on going to the Clash? Let me see. Yeah, I thought the speaker lineup was pretty good. Let's see. But first day, we got Jeff Mickles. We got Dean. We got Our Talk there. We got build takes that run themselves, the science and system behind thriving Caridina colonies. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. Got Mike Helwig on Nanofish, sounds good to me. Mitchell Broom, let's go, Mitchell Broom. The evolution of DIY and the aquarium hobby. Our channel did sponsors talk, but I did get my refund already. Sarah Walker, a deep dive into Australibius group of annual killifish. I mean, I'd be pretty excited to look at that. Oh, Fish NJ was planning on going to the Clash. There you go. Yeah, I'd be pretty excited to go to the Sarah Walker talk. I thought that'd be pretty fun. And day 2, we got aquascaping competition. Come on, bro. See Big Steve do his thing again. That'd be cool. Mike Howe, a fish keeper's journey into the world of Gadaids. Well, okay, no, you might have lost me there, but that's just me. Speaker, Mike Helwig, anabantoids, keeping and breeding fish that can drown. All right. I love anabantoids, very interested in keeping and breeding fish that can drown. That's actually a very intriguing title, so I'm into that too. We got South American dwarf cichlids. We got Mitchell Broom again. Corey's 102, and the first one was the evolution of DIY and the aquarium hobby. So I've seen Corey's 102. I've seen that talk, but I didn't see the DIY one. So that's a cool one. And then we got a Dean Tweedle Q&A session, raffle, award ceremony and raffle, fish show, hospitality room. So I mean, as far as that goes, that all seemed to be pretty cool. Cam Jam said Bamba is gonna be heartbroken that he can't win the aquascape contest. Come on, we know Bamba is too scared to go and aquascape at the Clash. We already know that. Come on, let's be real. I don't think he could take the pressure. I don't think he could take the pressure of escaping next to Big Steve. I don't think he could take the pressure of escaping next to Big Steve at all. So yeah, I mean, when you look at all the different reasons, at least publicly given, Bamba said, "Oh no, not the Guppy Clash." Come on, dog. Don't kick it a bit while it's down, man. Yeah, I think all the publicly given reasons, it just kind of seems, you know, I'm just gonna take Joel at his word and that the sponsorships were down. Why the sponsorships were down? That's where, you know, I mean, do you believe that Aquashella is the reason? I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily buy that. I mean, it's definitely impacting the event for sure, but I feel like there's still a way they could pull it off. It's far enough away. Bamba said, "I hope Father Fish shows up again and sells no shirts, bro." Come on, dog. Come on. Let's be nice. Jeff said sponsorship could be down with Aquashella at the same time. I'm sure corporate profits are low. All the political garbage going on in the second event, more employees, more products. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel that much concern for many companies that I'm imagining when I think of sponsorships. And a lot of the people that go to Aquashella already never came to the Clash as far as companies. Like, a lot of those companies, they never had a table at the Clash anyway. So, it's always been a more hobbyist, smaller business run thing. I feel like all the small businesses and stuff were pretty interested in going to the Clash still. Camden said maybe people aren't buying tickets because we're all buying groceries. I mean, in general economic downturn, I guess. Bamba said my Clash ticket was always free. You have to pay. Yes, bro. Yeah, you have to pay not as much if you just want to go to. You just went to the floor before, so it's like a small amount. I think you have to pay more if you want to see the speakers and all that. Well, let's go to Aquashella's floor plan and see who is here that would normally be at the Clash. So September 26th, 27th, 2026 is when the Clash would have been. You guys tell me, because you probably know a lot better than me. So we got Dr. Tim's Aquatics, Pisces USA, Aqua Design Amano, represented by Archia Corp DBA Aqua Forest. Where's the AFA booth, Mama said? Well, we have an ADA booth. New Aqua, BuyPetShrimp.com, Ellie's Freshwater Fish, Coral Fish 12G. Damn, the two tables here. $1,000 each for the table. How much was the Clash table? Like, that's another thing. When people are talking to me about, like, oh, economic downturn, like, in the grand scheme of things, the amount of money being asked is not that massive. That's just my opinion. Like, I just feel like there's a way for both events to go on at the same time. Like, one is significantly more expensive than the other. You know what I mean? I don't remember the exact price of the Clash tables. I don't think that they were $1,000 each. These ones over here, this is $650, $650, $1,000. Like, there's a lot of money involved here for sure. That's not shit. The booth sold $10 of 88 stuff in one day. I mean, that stuff's expensive. We got Betta's Tamsco Aquarium Tools, Aquatop. Jesse said $150 Clash tables. Yeah, there we go. Like, because some people, they've speculated, oh, can the company not sponsor two events at the same time? And Jesse, you're involved in the Clash planning, so maybe you can have an opinion. But I don't know. My opinion is that a lot of these the bigger companies aren't doing that bad in the grand scheme of things. The amount of money the Clash is asking for is not as significant as probably the Aquashella sponsorships. Like, we're talking about $150 tables versus $1,000 tables. The highest level of sponsorship for the Clash is $1,000, the platinum sponsorship. So just to give perspective, like, the biggest sponsorship level that I remember from the Clash is just getting a 10x10 table at Aquashella. So, like, I don't know. Tamsco, Aquatop, Ellie's Freshwater Fish, Coral Fish 12G, I read that. Shark Ride, Aquashell Merch, Guppy Contest, Planet Aquariums, Aquascaping, Custom Aquariums, Fish Room Punks. I mean, I guess Fish Room Punks probably would have been at the Clash, but I don't know if, you know, he bought this table because maybe he lives closer. I forget where he lives, or if he bought this table after hearing the event was canceled. Ooh, Pet Advocacy Network. I've been reading a lot of their articles. That'd be interesting. I don't think I've seen them at the Clash. Reef Nutrition. We got Chewy here. What's over here? Dirk's The Real Reefer Store. Woo Aquatics. Seacom Laboratories. Sierra North America. O Fish Shell. Hikari. Sarah Discus. Nori Vossen Art. Lifecard. Jesse said, I was running outside in a booth. I was running outside in booth at the Clash. And Jesse, you've done Aquashella and the Clash booth as a vendor. Fishroom Punks is from Chicago, Jeff said. Okay, that I kind of was like, he must live close to there probably. Lifeguard Aquatics, Dustin's Fish Tanks, The Fish Empire, Aqua FX. We still got some empty tables here, Aquashella Chicago. I mean, it is a little bit far in advance. It's September, which to me, I don't know, that I guess you want to cancel ahead of time before there's too many like fees and stuff for canceling, so that's probably why it's so early. But to me, I think that's also part of the shock, is like people planning very far in advance, and then like it's April, it's still kind of the start of the year, and it's already canceled. We got some tables over here open too. Yeah, then they got all the reef stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. There's not a lot of crossover to me for, at least on the vendors, between Aquashella and the Clash. Where's the Garden of Eater? They gotta be here somewhere. I must have missed them. They're probably over by Shrimp. That's the one I could probably think of that would be both. What's up, my fish tanks aquatics? How's it going? Let's see. What are the sponsors for Aquashella Chicago? I mean, big hint at the top. We got Pisces and Tropic Marine, just like wallpaper at the top of this thing. I mean, they're all over. Let's see. Do we have a sponsors? Easy to click on sponsors thing. What's up, SVC? How's it going? I will say every time I've looked at the show for Aquashella, like there's definitely not in much in the way of things I want to go listen to talk. So I do feel like you got to be into the tables for sure. Oh man. Everyone's saying hi in the chat. Howdy, howdy. Okay, here we got some partners. So we got Aqua Naturals, Tropic Marine, Pet Supplies Plus, Chemipure, Deltec, Reef Aquarium Design, Jellyfish Art, Aquaria FX, Miss, Project Piaba, Seachem, Lifeguard, Betta Botanicals. I mean, I just have a hard time believing that these companies couldn't sponsor more than one event at once. Bamba said, "Where is 2 Hour Aquarius?" That's a good question. Where is 2 Hour Aquarius? I feel like I just started seeing. Was it last year? They had a. That's when I got all the due misting stuff. They sent stuff to clubs and things like that, but I think they sent some stuff to the last JRAS auction. The James River Society. I think they sent some to that. So one other thing is that this announcement, I think it took a lot of people by surprise because there are people relatively involved with planning the Clash. Jeff says it's just about the community portion for me at Aquashella. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think there's enough people in that felt like maybe they'd be more in the know that I think were caught off guard by the thing being canceled, but I've never heard anything positive about how the planning of the Clash was going for this year. So like on one hand I'm like kind of surprised, but on the other hand, like I've had people say to me they thought the Clash was going to be canceled, and I told them, I was like, I don't, that feels like a little bit dramatic. I know. I was like, I don't know, that seems like a little bit dramatic. Also, it's like from where it's coming from, it's like I feel like you kind of got a little bit of a negative spin on things, but I turned out to be pretty accurate. So I guess for all the people upset and disappointed, the question really just becomes, what can be done to prevent this for the next time around? You know, what is the reason? I feel like, to me, it seems, like I said, I'm taking Joel at his word. It seems the reason is low sponsorship. He did say attendance was kind of low too, but specifically said the attendance was not event killing, you know? So it comes to me down to the sponsorships, and then they said that they thought the clubs were going to take a loss. Obama said they probably seen last year's competition and decided to cancel. Oh my god. Holy. Let me see. I don't need to beat it to death, but I'm trying to see. They had just started posting about some sponsorships recently. I think that's always gonna seem kind of like sudden to people too. It's like when they're starting to see posts about sponsors and stuff and the event happening and then it's canceled. It's like, what happened? So I feel like when you buy a ticket for an event like this, when you buy a ticket for an event like, oh, Jesse, exactly. Jesse said, how many vendors are going to have a sour taste in their mouth, though? This was a major event for some of the bigger vendors, sure we shall she. So I feel like that's one of the things to me is that right now, and this is the question I have to you guys, if you bought a ticket to this as a vendor or as an attendee, what is your question? Like, what are you wanting the answer to? Because what I was kind of found interesting is how angry a lot of people were. Like, for me, I wasn't planning on going, but even if I was planning on going, I don't know, they put the refunds out pretty fast. I guess if I booked a hotel, it would be more inconvenient, but I don't know, it's just like, okay, it's canceled, like, I guess I accept that, you know, and then I have my own speculation on why and stuff. but I don't know if my response would be angry. But I saw a lot of people that definitely were like, "Yo, we want some answers." And then you got Steve's in the comments like, "Why is it everyone's being so tight?" People like, was it Steve? People like acting as if they're trying to intentionally be tight-lipped or like not say the reason why it was canceled, which again, I really don't think the style of announcement where you don't give a public reason in the main announcement is very wise, because it just leaves people to speculation, and then people that already are kind of conspiratorial, they're gonna be like, they don't want to tell us, they're hiding the real truth and whatnot. And if you're a vendor, I guess you really want to know what went wrong, because why are you gonna buy a space and plan to go there next time if you can't trust that it's going to be managed properly? Beto says Aquashella was scheduled on the same day. It was scheduled on the same day in Chicago, yes. So if we look at a map of the United States, we can see over here we got Maryland, right? And then we got Chicago over here. You can see it's quite a massive difference. Maryland to Chicago. I'm doing Maryland because that's where I am, but you know, I'll put in Pennsylvania. So 10 hours for me to go there. Okay, let's say Pennsylvania to Chicago. Okay, 8 hours, 9 hours, probably depending on where you're going. So that to me is just like, I'm sorry, blaming Aquashella for the clash I think is laughable. Yes, it obviously affected things to some extent, but throwing up the towel and just giving up, I mean, you just got to make it worth it for people closer to you to go to. I mean, I you know what I mean? Jenna said, so I can give a more insightful reason as to why it was canceled. It was 100% not because of some imaginary YouTube boycott. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't feel like there's any kind of YouTube boycott. Stephen P said, I can see those old club members are letting their true colors come out in the Facebook comments. Yeah. That's why I said I was surprised at, like, people's reaction to it was much more aggressive. Mexicali said, I don't know why it was canceled, but Scotty's going on an all-paid 2-week vacation to Thailand. Must be a coincidence. Bro, what are you talking about? Jenna said, really came down to lack of numbers when we compared this year's registration, sponsors, and etc. to previous years. Yep. And that's what Joel said in the Facebook that we read. And yeah, I mean, Jenna said, when we gave these numbers to the board, they held a vote and let us know it would be canceled. Jeff said, Chicago is 5 hours from me. PA is 13-ish hours, and I have to drive past Chicago to get there. Yeah. So look, we got Jenna in the chat kind of confirming about the sponsorship numbers and stuff. So then, if you're an attendee or a vendor and you're still upset, you want, you know, I guess I'm wondering what the things you want to know are. Like, for me, okay, they held a vote, they voted to cancel it. How bad of a loss was it going to be? You know, was there no chance between April and September to rally some support? Because when I see that some people's reactions to, and again, like you said, it was voted on, so what are you going to do? There's a vote. But when I see people's reactions to how it being canceled, it kind of feels like there's some energy there that definitely could have been harnessed at some point to help the event. Jenna P said, it absolutely cannot be blamed on YouTube attendance. The clubs have to be able to support the event, especially if they want to ice us out and act like we're not really hobbyists. Oh my goodness. Bomba said, isn't there Aquashella in New Jersey? There is, which is another reason why I think I don't really blame Aquashella, because if someone wanted to go to Aquashella, they could just go to Aquashella, New Jersey, which isn't on the same day You know what I mean? Stephen P. was said, with the resources at their disposal, there was no chance of a rally. Yeah, that's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad. It does. I would definitely be like questioning. Next year comes around, you're like a vendor and stuff. It's like, okay, well, how do we make sure that this doesn't happen again? Because, you know, I planned my trip or whatever, or I didn't do this around it. I'm just excited to go. How early on were things? At what point did it get so bad that it was past saving? You know, is this the point, or was it 2 months ago where things were like, oh my gosh? Because I've been hearing that there was concern about the event for a while. You know, Beto said, if you're a vendor, you might want to go where you have better turnout, right? Cam Jam said, YouTube fish keepers get a bad reputation for humans too. I mean, come on, bro. Like, I'm not. A YouTube boycott is so silly. But also, like, the source in the comment section saying that was Lonnie, and like I'm gonna take everything he says with a grain of salt. Holy. But I think when you combine that, like, with everyone keeps referencing the changes in the clubs and the committee. Like, there's a Scotty-sized elephant in all these conversations. You know what's my favorite meme? Address me. This is my favorite meme people are saying recently. They just post a photo of the elephant and say, address me. Bamba, is that a Daphne or Blackworm Aquascape event? That's hilarious. Mick said, just got my Achilles from the auction. And My Fish Tanks Aquatic says, thank you, Jenna and Steven, for the insight about the Clash. Yes, thank you very much to Jenna and Steven for that. Just got my Achilles from our auction. Mick said, I was sick, so I couldn't attend. A friend brought me fish I told him to bid on. Surprised by letting me take care of another friend's riverless Ziphidus. Very nice. Mexicali said, must be the smallest elephant alive. Okay, this is basically my question that I could imagine if I was someone invested in the Clash happening. I want to know, does this happen because of uncontrollable factors, or did this happen because of mismanagement? You know what I mean? I just don't feel like, personally, I don't feel like one person changing could derail an entire event. That shouldn't be possible. And I see Jenna said, so I don't really believe that. And Jenna's saying, yeah, the same thing. Committee wasn't actually changed much. Scotty was replaced by 2 people who were already on the committee. The ACLC and CCY president and 2 new people had it. Yeah, so I don't really buy the whole Scotty thing. But I do think it's legitimate to ask, well, what can be different next year for this not to happen? Because it seemingly came off, last year seemed like a decent success. You know what I mean? So if we're coming off a successful year and it's been kind of a struggle, what happens next year? You know, coming off not a successful year. Hopefully the cancellations are able to, it's early enough, they're not losing too much money off of that, but you know what I mean? It's still not a positive. Jeff said, I can 100% support that, Bamba. Wait, what did Bamba say? Bamba wants an acid breeding event with a bit of aquascaping like Keystone. Better say last year there was an event at the same time. Yeah, I mean, again, I just don't. I really don't. I don't think that it should be possible for Aquashella to kill an event that far away from it. Nice Sky said, don't read my comments out loud. I'm not adding anything constructive to the conversation. I mean, am I adding anything constructive to the conversation? Jenna said, I think without Scotty on the committee, some jobs weren't done at the same level, and Scotty did a lot of promotion of the event every week on a stream that went away. Okay, so at first I thought you were saying, and by the way, if anyone actually involved with the Clash feels like hopping on Discord and chatting with me, let me know. But at first you're saying that the committee wasn't changed very much. Now it seems like the committee wasn't changed much, but acknowledging that Scotty maybe was missed on a performance level. I know a lot. I just know a lot of people basically believe that Scotty did a bunch of work. It didn't get done after he left, and that's a big reason why the event went down. It was mentioned by multiple people posting, like Joel mentioned it, Lonnie mentioned it. Aquashell and G could have hurt attendance. They're very close together. Yeah. Performance and institutional knowledge are important. Yes. Okay. I agree. Okay. Listen, I'm always gonna be skeptical when someone's, telling me one person, but I could believe that. It's just I don't want to just immediately like, yeah, it's Cascati left. You know what I mean? Jenna said, as someone on the committee for the past 3 years, Scotty did a lot of work that he wasn't required to, but he did anyway. Okay. I mean, anyone that goes to the Clash definitely saw that Scotty did a lot of work. Cam Chem said it took 2 people to replace Scotty. What a badass. Chris Ladd said Aquashella and Jay could have hurt attendance. They're close together. It could have, but it seems like it was attendance and sponsorships. Like Joel said, attendance wasn't the event killing thing. So I don't know. Bamba said all this Scotty glaze. I will say, Scotty did tell me when that looking at the sponsorships, he thought if it wasn't better by the end of March or whatever, he thought they'd have to cancel the Clash. And I was kind of like, I don't know, man, that seems a little dramatic. So, hey, I guess he knew what he was talking about when it comes to that. But I was trying to come at it with a skeptical mindset. Bamba said, so you knew? I mean, I talked about on stream, if you compare the sponsorships between last year and this year, it was pretty bad. I mean, we talked about this on stream already ahead of time. That's why it's not that much of a surprise to me, because if you compare just the post to the sponsorships between this year and last year, there was a big difference. Now, none of us have the inside knowledge of the numbers, though, so looking at that, it's hard to say 100% that, oh, they're totally screwed. You know what I mean? Just from the outside. But it obviously wasn't ideal. I did see some more sponsorships being posted recently, but I guess that was too little too late. Jenna P said the sponsor chair was one of the people who was different from last year. Yeah. I mean, this is my opinion that may be very uninformed. But I've seen some people, when they're talking about the sponsorship slacking, they either bring up Aquashella or they bring up like the economy. And I just think, from my limited experience soliciting sponsorships, I think there's enough sponsorships out there somewhere. Maybe it would have been really difficult to get enough, but I just don't think that on the big picture the amount that the Clash needs is like undoable. You know what I mean? So it's a volunteer run thing, so there's a lot of work into it, so I'm not trying to downplay anyone's work, but sponsorships especially is something where you kind of get what you put into it, and some people are really good at, there are people that are uniquely good at doing that and can make a difference. People that already have relationships and stuff, like it can be done. It really can be done. I was surprised doing our first auction. Again, this is not really at a comparable scale, but you reach out to people, you ask around, it wasn't that hard to get the sponsorships that we needed, but it did take a decent amount of work. That's on a much smaller scale, so I can imagine for the Clash it is quite a lot. Jenna P said, for the 2024 Clash, I was the sponsor chair. I contacted over 800 businesses several times throughout the year. It's a lot of work, but you can get things done with enough diligence. Jose said, hello all, listening at work while doing computer work, bummed out about the Clash cancellation. Any reason why? Do we know? Just joining. So Jose, basically it was canceled because they voted on the fact that it seemed numbers, attendance, and sponsorship-wise were too low, and the clubs were not going to be able to financially support the event, or were going to take too big of a loss or something like that. And it's been said by at least Joel in the event that attendance wasn't event killing, but that combined with the low sponsorships was. So to me, this is it's kind of going into a direction where I think how it appears, this is just how it appears to me, is that there was some level of mismanagement with the event. As far as the fact as last year it was successful, this year it's canceled. It's kind of hard to see it any other way. Something clearly went wrong. Mick said, if the event is heavily depending on long traveling nerds, perhaps it's a lot less pre-booked people coming. Yes, there was less pre-booked people coming. 800 businesses is a lot, by the way. That's crazy. 800 businesses is a lot. But, yeah, it can be done. I think for people that want to support the event in the future, I think they're just looking for, if not, the reasoning and stuff behind it, they're looking for, okay, next year, what are the changes that are going to be made, or how can things be different so that the event actually happens? Jenna P said, it's also important to note that the Clash is a primary fundraiser for the club, so if the event was going to be a potential loss, it could really hurt the clubs financially. I mean, I would care about that, but ACLC, I'm pretty sure they already paid the rent for their event space all of next year. I mean, is anyone employed by the clubs? Is anyone relying on them for livelihood? Are they going to eliminate all their money, or are they going to take a loss? I just don't really have that much sympathy for hurting the club financially. I don't know how much money they would have lost. I feel like they've also made a lot of money off the Clash before. So, look, plenty of places put on events like this and make no money. Most clubs are nonprofits. I don't actually know if ACLC or CCY are nonprofits at the moment, but I don't really care if a club's going to take a hit financially. If you tell me they can't afford it at all or whatever, then it can't happen, that's different. But I don't know. I'm not really, that doesn't really move me. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I think an event like the Keystone Clash being the fundraiser you rely on for your club entirely, that's kind of insane to me. Because look at just like COVID. Man, imagine you're relying on that and then COVID hits, you have no event and you're totally screwed. I mean, that probably is kind of what happened, but I don't know. They charge 30% on all their auctions, so I feel like they have plenty of other ways of providing revenue. Mikim, for sure, and club members gotten free, so even with a lot of local people coming, they don't always help financially support the event by sponsoring, entering fish, etc. Yeah, I mean, but again, club members come in free, but they do have to pay the clubs for a membership. So you kind of see, that's another thing. It's like, oh man, the clubs, it's their fundraiser. Like, look, club members get in free. No, they don't. They're club members. They paid the clubs that run the event to become members and get in for free. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not really, I'm not really that sympathetic to that, honestly. I'm really not. I don't know how much they necessarily made off previous clashes or the last one, but just based off of their percentage off the all-day auctions, I don't think that it was I think they're doing just fine. ACLC was $25 for the year, though. Don't know about CCY. Yeah, I don't remember. I think I became a member to CCY. If I recall. Yeah, so that to me is really the main question. Next year, what's going to change? What are we gonna have a bring back Scotty campaign? Like that is that what's going to happen? I don't think anyone boycotted over that. I've never talked to anyone that said I'm not going or supporting the event because of what they did to Scotty personally. I don't think I've ever heard that. Jenna P said, I think ACLC is financially okay with or without the Clash, 100%. Because they have 2-3 times as many members of CCY. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. Their auctions or meetings I've been to, I mean, they brought Dance Fish, they brought Dean, They have some big speakers. They have some pretty decent size auctions. I think they're doing just fine. But CCY, I definitely know probably would rely on the Clash a bit more. So for them particularly, maybe I have more sympathy. But again, I don't think relying on the Clash is probably a good idea anyway. That's a pretty high cost thing up front that you have to make up for. Genevieve said, most of what I heard from in YouTube community is that people don't live in the area, want to try other events. If they're not local, why wouldn't they want to travel to other places? Yeah, I mean, that, for me, I went to the Clash a few years in a row. I wasn't really feeling it. Plus, I want to go to Chicago. I've been wanting to go to Chicago. If Aquashella Chicago was in like somewhere not interesting to me, I wouldn't be interested at all. But I've been wanting to go to Chicago, and I usually go to these events with my significant other, and Chicago was an easier pitch than PA because we've already been there, and also she lives in Pennsylvania, so, but she likes to travel, so going to Chicago was like, oh yeah, that'd be fun. Jeff said, for what I remember, Scotty publicly asking people to continue supporting the event on his Clash live stream. Okay, but like, come on, like, that doesn't really mean anything. Like, Scotty could go up there and say, yes, I'm going to be nice, and publicly say, like, support the event. And that's all right. I only ever heard that from him in private, too. But, like, anyone that would be upset about anything related to Scotty is not going to care if Scotty says support the event. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's kind of like something you say, but I don't think it's necessarily going to change people's feelings. Chris Ladd said, I didn't even know Scotty was involved anymore. No, they gave him the boot. So he was removed from president at ACLC and whatever his role was in the Clash, and he was also banned from ACLC events and the Clash. What I think partly, that's another thing, like, I think how some people communicate how they felt about it is that, oh, he put all this work into the Clash, and then not only do they kick him or whatever, but they also banned him from the event even if he wanted to pay to go. Jeff said, I don't really interact with many people outside the public space. Yeah. Like Sky said, just say it's Bomba. We still love you, the significant other. Shut up, bro. Yeah, I mean, Bomba said, why you blaming me? Listen, Mexicali is just trolling in the chat, okay? Mexicali is just trolling in the chat. Look, I think a lot of this, like, the Scotty thing, I think is just, there's some communication improvements that probably could be made. Mick said, the thing impacting the most over here is pre-list. If no fun, odd fish for sale, many nerdy people will not show up only because of the speakers. I don't think the auction was up yet. I mean, this doesn't happen till September. You know what I mean? That's part of what's like, damn. Bob said, I mean, the vendors were cool. Yep, Mexico said, I'm bored at work. For Chris Lads, who said, I didn't know Scotty wasn't involved. Yes, so you can see, we're writing to inform you, Scotty will no longer be involved with the Aquarium Club, Lancaster County. This includes the Keystone Clash, etc., etc. This was in 2025. I forget when in 2025, but later on, 2025. And, you know, my personal opinion, what I told Scotty is, I feel like there probably was good reason for him to be removed from a leadership position. Allegations, I guess, that he was speaking inappropriately with maybe up to 5 different women. I've heard different versions of exactly what was inappropriate about it or what level of inappropriateness was about it. I don't really know. From my perspective, if you're in a leadership position in a club or in an event, then I think it's probably inappropriate to be flirting with people associated with that. You know what I mean? Now, for a lot of people, the aquarium events and stuff is like their social spaces where they meet people. So, of course, you know, that's where you might find interest in people. But I don't know. If you have a pattern of, like, messaging people, then I could see why you probably might need to decrease in your responsibility level. But personally, I haven't seen I haven't seen no screenshots. I have no first-hand accounts. I've talked to a few people that voted him out or whatever, and they're like, yeah, it was bad and all that. But you know what I mean? Because of the way that the announcement was, it kind of just leaves people to speculate, take their positions, and I think that there's a pretty big divide there. I'll be honest, I've talked to a lot more pro Scotty people than anti Scotty people. So the only people that are anti him seem to be the ones on the board at the time of his removal. Um, I I know how I feel, but I think I would have liked to see at least an official reason given on this position. You know what I mean? Mama said straight Scotty Glaze holy. I know, man. I know. What's up, Uncle Smiley? How's it going? Yeah. So, just count the water molecules, Jorge. It's an important job. I don't think that's going to help him not be bored at work. I don't think. Mexicali said, that's the problem. I'm actually working, but it's just mundane. No changes. I hear you. I definitely hear you. I think one thing that made me feel like the sponsorships, the first time was the speaker sponsorships, because when you look back to last year, a lot of the speakers were announced with the sponsor, and we got some great speakers. You know what I mean? That's why we sponsored Mitchell Broom. I saw his talk. I liked it. I used the YouTube channel money for that. I thought he's been in the chat, show support. But Sarah Walker, AKA Killyfish, that's one that would be worth sponsoring for me. It's $100 to sponsor a speaker, and you had a bunch of great speakers that were going a long time without being sponsored. Even Dean wasn't sponsored for a while, and to me that's you could have called one of so many different people and be like, hey, we need a sponsorship for this speaker. You want to sponsor Dean? Get your get your name on it. There's plenty of people at the last Clash that are yo, I love to sponsor stuff because my name's on everything. It's not really that much money comparatively to some other stuff, but yet I get to support something I really believe in, and then everyone gets to see hey, sponsored by Mexicali Fish Keeper. We could have had Mexicali. You could have saved the Clash, bro. Jenna P said, I believe we only had 3 speaker sponsorships in total, and the Clash has to pay for travel, hotel, per diem, and speaker fee. Yeah, that's 3 speaker fees. To me, this is my opinion, and again, shout out to everyone volunteering to work on the Clash. But to me, the speaker sponsorships was one of the examples of where I feel like there's something seriously wrong with the sponsorship method, because I feel like there's a lot of people that really like these individuals and be happy to sponsor their talk, and maybe they would have, but it's early out, and that's another thing. People do things last minute. It's April, the event's in September, so that's another part of this where I feel like there could have been more later on as far as individual people, but they do that. People tend to leave stuff off. They don't just do it 9 months early on their own all the time. Chris Ladd said, I was in a position before where we had to remove someone. The lawyers told us not to include any details in the statement, just that the person was removed. Yeah, I mean, fair point. I hear you. Again, though, this is was there a lawyer involved in this? I don't know. It's a club. It's a very social thing. The aquarium clubs are very social. So you got to do some work on the social front with something like this so it doesn't become a lingering issue. The fact that it's such a topic of conversation a year later is already a failure of handling the situation. It shouldn't be you remove someone and then your event fails and multiple people are mentioning changes of leadership and all that kind of stuff. Clearly I feel like it's a cascading effect of things that maybe weren't handled all the way. Just said, I don't know how much I can say about finances, but we're maybe 1/3 of the way where we were in 2025 and half of what we had the previous year. Yeah. So I think, to me, that is something where the performance of could have been affected by a change in process and how those sponsorships were being acquired. Because it takes a lot. It does take a lot of work and effort to get all that racked up early on. Jennifer said at this point, January to April. Yeah. Mexicali said, I can't sponsor myself to the event. You want me to sponsor someone else? Not happening. What the Mexicali? You wouldn't sponsor someone if it would make a really cool talk. Taking the decision 8 to 9 months ahead sounds like a hard job to manage in this business. Mexicali said that's true. Jeff said, since it's a traveling event for so many, maybe more will attend Bluegrass Bash, the Fish Fam Cookout, or Aquashella, Chicago instead. I mean, I get that. Some people do choose, but, you know, look, I do think location is still important. There's a lot of people that would probably go to the Clash that wouldn't go out of their way to travel to these other things. Like, I'm not traveling to the Bluegrass Bash or Fish Fam Cookout. Like, Chicago just happened to be a place that I'm interested in going in, so I might go. I still don't know 100% if I'm gonna go, but if it was anywhere else, like, I'm not planning on going to the New Jersey one, and that's not too far from me, but I'm just not really that interested in going to New Jersey. Jenna said, Jeff, I know that a big draw to the Clash was more to meet their friends in person, so enough people are going to somewhere else, people might choose that event. Jeff said, I thought you were going to the Bluegrass Bash. No, I'm not going to the Bluegrass Bash. Nope. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, one thing I said to someone about the Clash was, and this goes into maybe the YouTube boycott thing, but there's a lot of people where if this person is going, they're all going to go. You know what I mean? Like, or it just takes this person not going, and then they're like, maybe I won't go. So I don't know how many people were going to hang out with Scotty or whatever. Like, I know it was mentioned he did promote it on his live streams a lot, but when last year, everyone on the YouTube circuit, and the YouTubers word is kind of like funny because a lot of the people, I wouldn't even say they're YouTubers. Like, we do like fish live streams. Some people post videos. It's mostly just like people who socialize on YouTube live with other people. You know what I mean? I don't even think the word YouTuber is necessarily accurate for a lot of folks. But, you know, like Bougie on her stream, or like all the different streams, you'd hear people talking and making plans together. How about we're all going to the Clash? I know there was also a wedding going on at the Clash, so that was a part of it. Stephen P. said the engagement pod. But this year you definitely didn't have that, and I think that probably was noticeable. Now, if I wanted to save the event, I would have paid Mexicali Fishkeeper all expense paid trip to come to the Clash. That's what I would have done, okay? Because Mexicali Fishkeeper, that is the mob boss. That is the kingmaker of the YouTube engagement pod, really, in the shadows. So I'm sure when he says jump, we all ask how high, you know? So Jenna said, the reason I even learned about the Clash was because of Rico Stan. Mexico said, whatever. It was the only event he could go to, so a lot of people went just to meet him. Yeah. And the strength of the Clash is that it's a more hobbyist event and more community focused. So, you know, if you don't have the community locked in, whether they're YouTubers or not, and you don't have the little friend pods, you know what I mean? Like, if like you said, Rico Stan's going, so maybe he brings 6 people. Like, it's really a one person at a time thing. But if you could identify 1 or 2 people that always bring friends or haven't been to something in a while, you know, that'd be someone trying to get to bring out. Mexicali said liar, whatever, same here. Like, for instance, one big factor in me going to Chicago Aquashella, which I don't know if I'm going to necessarily 100%, but if Mexicali Fishkeeper does end up going, then that, bro, I've been hanging out with Mexicali online for a while now. I'd love to meet him. You know what I mean? If Mexicali Fishkeeper was going to the Clash, I would have 100% gone. Not that that really means much, but I'm just giving an example. Like, you know, when it's a community focused hobbyist thing, like, you want all the hobbyists to be like, hey, we're gonna meet up at the Clash. Mexicali said, I don't think they should blame the YouTubers since they didn't like the tubers being there. I just think calling them people YouTubers is like not accurate. A lot of them are just normal fish nerd people that many of them go to club meetings and stuff, but they hang out live on YouTube with people. You know what I mean? Like, there's no difference between Jenna said, I don't know if you looked at Joel's post. Yeah, we pulled it up earlier, but some more people joined since then. But him... Yeah. Let's see. Lonnie specifically said YouTubers were fine, but the event is for people who do weekly water changes. Well, I mean, like, why... All respect, but, like, I'm not really listening to anything Lonnie's saying. Like, he kind of just says shit. He just kind of says shit. So, like, whatever, man. Lonnie's cool, but, like, I'm not going to expect him to necessarily be accurate. Yeah, he said... He's the one that said that the YouTubes... You tell me, is this true? YouTube people were a big part of the Clash. They're responsible for over 100+ registrations. They boycotted the Clash this year over a person's unfortunate behavior. Yeah, 100+ people did not boycott the Clash because of Scotty. The Clash was becoming a YouTuber event. Was it? There wasn't that many YouTube videos about the Clash. Now, YouTubers have their place in the hobby. It's a part of the hobby, but the Clash is for people that do weekly water changes, breed fish, so other hobbyists could have their fish. What do you think people are... A lot of people are learning about this stuff from hobbyists that happen to post on YouTube. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying, like, there's a difference between YouTuber and a hobbyist that just posts on YouTube or goes live on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, MD Fish Tanks is a YouTuber. Jeff Kane, are you a YouTuber? I mean, I see you on YouTube a lot. You go live a lot. But, like, I feel like you're a real hobbyist. Let me look at Jeff Kane's channel. His example of the highlights include Keith, who's a YouTuber child, and Leo, who only heard about the event through Facebook. Cinnamon said, the club members I've talked to, all of them have a different response. I've told a number of times of a YouTuber takeover, which is funny, and boycott. Pelham said, I knew I should have tried to go to the Clash last year. Yeah, listen, there's with a failure this massive, you're gonna have people making up different reasons for whatever interest they have. Yo, since we're just bringing up all this random shit that people saying, yo, speaking of engagement pod, 1 second, holy, the response in the fish cord was pretty. I did laugh at this. Johnny cooked them up. So Dr. Ted said, completely understand. So we got a big Clash apologist immediately. Completely understand. Having been involved in running local, regional, and national fish events and conventions for 30 years, I was always amazed that an event the size of the Clash could be executed so well by a handful of volunteers from 2 local clubs, busy running their own clubs and work and family lives. So does this mean that the volunteers need a break for personal reasons or fish club stress? That these events should be reconsidered? It's not a business like Aquashella. Really? Did someone just say the clubs relied on it for profit? So I feel like there is a certain amount of monetary incentive. Every 2 years, frankly, may make more sense from a sheer stress and sanity standpoint. To me, that's a volunteer issue. If the stress and stuff is too much for volunteers, you need to actively recruit some volunteers. Cinnamon, they seem paranoid. Yes, paranoid and embarrassed. So, look, I wasn't going to the Clash. I don't like a lot of the people that in my opinion, my perception is that they're associated with running the Clash. And one of the main things I don't like about them is, yes, they act very paranoid. I think they act very antisocial. And I think part of those attributes are what is, a huge contributing factor to this result. what is it? You catch more flies with honey or whatever. Jenna says, as a volunteer coordinator last year for the community, 75% or more volunteers came from the YouTube community. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're gonna take the people that support the event the most and just say fuck you, I mean, what do you expect? My hat's off for a great run. I look forward to next one in the future. Is take a well rest. So Johnny's response to this is, that's embarrassing. Ted's coming in with like, I understand. Yeah, this makes sense to me. We just got, that's embarrassing. The old dude who started it was bragging big time about what he made it into in front of Corey. Guess it doesn't work so well when you get rid of your golden goose. Which, golden goose, I feel like this is another Scotty reference. The Scotty narrative is, he may as well be Superman at this point with the lore. Old man who started it bragging big time. We saw in the Facebook post, there's like 5 different people that claim to start the Keystone Clash, so it's honestly hard to tell. Wait, we saw Fish Tank Bar, so that's too bad. I was looking forward to going next year. So yeah, you got a lot of people citing different reasons, different excuses. And some people don't necessarily buy into it. Stephen P said, I love that there are several old dudes who want credit for it. Yeah. Some of them are talking like this is the death of the event in the comments section. Like they're never gonna go to it. Like it's never gonna happen again. Like how bad was the vote? Some of the club members who reached out to volunteer never showed up to help last year. Bottom line is it takes effort. That Scotty was doing. It takes effort is the point. Oh my gosh, the Scotty narrative. Friday the locals, which I'm supposed, one came in and rudely. Friday the locals, which I'm supposed, one came and rudely asked us to leave. All the people who are making up excuses aren't even on the committee or board too. Yeah, I mean, you don't got to be on the team to bunny hop for it. Maybe that's what we should investigate. It's like who really started the clash. Because I thought it was Lonnie that started the clash, you know what I mean? I thought, well, my understanding is that Lonnie invented the clash. Because they tried to ban him from it, and he's like, I'm going to show up anyway. I started the damn thing. I was like, look, I mean, if you started it, I'd probably do the same thing. So, holy, why not? Because Joel made his long post about how it got started. And then Lonnie came in with the historical correction. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they're fighting about 10 years ago who thought up the idea. Man, they should have been fighting for, like, why they failed the event this year. Jenna said, I think he invented fish. This feels like a I'm Spartacus moment. Everyone's standing up saying I started the clash. Lottie also thinks it's Lottie started the clash. Yes, the highlight of my last clash were 2 youngsters, Keith from Kentucky, sitting behind a table in the vendor's room, all of 10 years, busking his live food culture. She was a huge part of the clash a few years back, blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to start controversy at the beginning of the event. I just wanted to be known that Scott McLaughlin was the brainchild of the clash. He's a visionary, I'll say it. The reason the clash was canceled is quite simple, and this is where he says, YouTuber boycott. Hey, if there was an official YouTuber boycott, I would have signed up. Breed fish, so yeah, okay. Yeah, holy. In all due respect, the first Keystone Clash was held in the community center in Spring Grove, PA by CCY. The rest is history. The clash will be back as long as I have breath in my lungs. He'll be back. So, Lonnie's bringing the clash back. No worries. Also, Scott McLaughlin is King and Queen Cichlids on YouTube. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, look, you gotta blame someone. So, YouTubers, that's an easy target, right? But again, if you depending on your definition of the word YouTubers, it kind of encompasses even a lot of old people that just go hang out at these clubs. You know what I mean? A lot of these more experienced gentlemen, they have some decent YouTube channels where they post some helpful information. Like, I think one of the first... What is his name? I feel like it's... No, not Bob Bach. Oh, my God. Okay, I don't remember the guy's name. But he had a bunch of videos I actually saw before I ever went to a club meeting, and then I was like, oh shit, the guy that made those YouTube videos is just at this meeting. He's just a normal member, like, you know what I mean? And he's the one that told me about Research Rabbit too, which is what I was using a lot for finding research papers. So it's kind of like a cell phone when you start talking about the YouTubers. It kind of feels like we're building a consensus though about what happened here, which I was kind of like, oh, I kind of want to feel still what I'm looking for, even from people like Jesse, who was like, I don't know how vendors are gonna feel, whatever. That's kind of what now I'm looking for, because I feel like we have a decent idea of why it didn't happen, but I kind of want to know, what are people feeling about the event next year, or like as a vendor, as an attendee, like what is your feedback? Like, are you upset? Do you want to see something different next year, or are you like, oh, riled up, like as soon as the announcement drops in 2027 you're gonna hop in there and sponsor every single speaker yourself? Like that's kind of what I'm curious about. Many factors in a combo, Mick said. Yes, many factors in a combo indeed. Many factors in a combo. Let me see. I'm gonna look on YouTube. Keystone Clash. YouTube.com. Cinnamon Girl said, I feel like they should do just the vendor room, like a swap, and add fun things. You know what? That is an interesting question, because when I was hearing some of the numbers, like what the clubs made and what the upfront cost was, my question was like, why? This seems like a lot, and quite frankly, it's not like these space. I feel like you could do it in a more focused event in a smaller space. Like, imagine you cut a bunch of the costs, but you still have a massive auction. You know what I mean? You still have all the raffle items, and you got the vendor room. Then you're probably, maybe the event will be smaller, but you're probably going to make even more money, you know? Jennifer said, I think they'll need to significantly downsize, and if people online sees comments made by who will likely take it over next year, they will feel unwelcome. Yeah. I mean, that's why I didn't go this year. That's why I didn't go this year. They needed a venue that's way cheaper. People talk about, like, what are we going to do about the YouTubers? They live stream and talk about events. Like, are we for real right now? Like, I don't know. Run a good event. What's the problem? Keystone Clash. We got a Fritz did do a video there. Okay. 6 months ago. That did pretty good.
Well, welcome everybody.
I mean, are we complaining about 38,000 views 6 months ago? 11th annual Keystone Clash. Wait, 11th? I thought the flyer that I was looking at for the speaker said 10th. Did I have the wrong speaker list? Or is this wrong? Well, anyways. Yeah.
Everybody to the for 12 bucks.
Seems good.
She's coming. Oh, she's coming. Okay. Emails.
I wonder how many people in the chat can we even
with them, and
see in this
1,000 Google reviews.
You know
Are busy. It's the starting of the day. You got a lot of people coming to get the first grab at the fish. So I kind of don't want to bother them at the same time. We got Jesse right here selling fish right now.
Did they say Jesse? Yeah, let's go. Just one more fish. Yo, why is Jesse in the Bigfoot stance? It looks like we're not supposed to have found him.
Jesse right here selling fish right now.
Oh, there we go. Okay, we got the wave. CMP said nobody knows how long it's been happening, but apparently it was Clash at the K with some point. Come on, man. These people definitely know. I mean, the level of drama, I think, is beyond, like, I don't think I'm aware of most of the drama around this, which I became cognizant of when I saw the comment section. Because when I was seeing the comment section, I'm like, oh, there's like a lot more drama with some of these people than I care to know or was already having knowledge of. Because, like, a comment like this, we say, Lonnie, with respect, these ancient blood feuds were corny 10 years ago. The CCY put on the Clash of Cichlids 1, 2, and 3, which were all one-day free events in a clubhouse or community center. As far as I can tell, they were really great and good for all. That is totally different than multiple clubs coordinating efforts to put on a 3-day paid event with multiple well-known speakers from around the country. A convention center, night and day difference. It was announced as an inaugural event because it was. On that note, I was looking forward to the Clash this year, and I hope it returns, so maybe this is a good opportunity to do some soul searching. I think y'all should just consider dropping the whole Clash angle and just put on a fish expo with aquarium or aqua in the title. If you're trying to attract a wide and perhaps young audience, maybe don't detract from interesting parts of the hobby by highlighting fake local club rivalries. Just my humble opinion as a former young person. Now, this is an interesting... I do think putting something that's more discoverable by people just looking up aquarium events possibly could be useful. I don't necessarily think it's needed, but aquarium or aqua being somewhere in there. Keystone Clash. Yo, what's funny is when I was looking up Keystone Clash, a bunch of other stuff came up, but like they're doing like Keystone Cash, which is like a Cash Patel political thing. I don't know. There's a lot more things with the Keystone and the Clash that I do when I was like just Googling Keystone Clash stuff. So, I mean, I don't know if a name change is necessary, but I thought that was an interesting concept. The 11th anniversary date on the Fritz video must be where Aquarium Authority got the wrong chat GPT into info from his post. Oh, man, that's hilarious. They had us market it as the 10th anniversary because that's how long both clubs have been running it officially. I don't think some of these people want a young audience. They acted like they don't want an audience. It's a good thing we're old, JP. What is old to you guys? I feel like you got to be over 70 for me to even start thinking old. I don't know. I used to play racquetball at the gym I was at, and there's a lot of people in their 70s that I could not beat at racquetball at the time. So maybe I just have a different perspective. I've seen some people that are quote unquote old that just I would never describe them that way. Jeff Kane said 30 is over the hill. Holy, don't say that. Don't say that, Jeff. You don't look that old. That old. Let's see. I'm trying to see other videos from the Clash. They don't generally have a part of both clubs. So I'm just getting a smile from half of them. I mean, it's hard going to... I feel like I'm someone that, believe it or not, I'm not actually the most extroverted person, so I do sometimes struggle going to a new place and finding people to talk to. So, you know, it's always hard to tell if are people not that friendly, or is it just like I'm just not that good at making an introduction of myself. But hopefully, Cinnamon, you've come to some meetings I've been at in Maryland. I've seen you at ACM and I've seen you at ASCM, so hopefully you're getting a little bit more than a smile. Dinner P says, a hobbyist, we really need to make space for new hobbyists if we don't want the hobby to die off. I agree, but you know, a lot of the YouTube crowd, again, I would say a decent amount of the YouTube crowd they're referencing is in this chat or I've talked to at some point on YouTube. I hate to break it to you guys. The average age of my streams has got to be over 30. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to break it to you guys, but like, space for new hobbyists, like, not even, like, bro, a lot of the YouTube people, they've been hobbyists for a long time. They're not even, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we need new hobbyists, but like, you also gotta like bring along the people that already might be interested. You know, Jeff said I'm getting close to 50. Yeah, like I feel like a lot of the people, those 100+ registrations, were not on the young side. There was not a bunch of bombas that dropped off. Jeff said it's the other people there. Other people there are also introverted. Yeah. I think that's why I like some of the icebreaker stuff that some clubs already do. But I think you can't drop off on those because, you know, for instance, we did trivia. We break everyone off into teams. You have to go off on a table together. You make friends. You know, we've done some introduction things. You got to keep doing that periodically, because hopefully every meeting someone new is coming in, and you want to mix them in. And like I said, I'm kind of an introvert, and I think a decent amount of people that come to club meetings also are, and sometimes you just need an extra push that might need to be institutionalized, you know, into the structure of the meetings. Now, personally, I found CCY to be pretty friendly when I went, and I found ACLC to be friendly too, but I did already know people when I went there, you know. Jacob said, yo, what's up? I got Medaka eggs galore. Congratulations. And Cinnamon said that you found both to be friendlier. Well, I'm glad you're having good experiences. I've definitely seen you bidding quite happily at the auctions I've seen you at. You bought up all the killies at the ACM and ASCM auction I've seen you at. Jenna said, it's like they think Catch 'em All or Bass Fishing Productions, whatever, are going to come evade the event. It's literally mostly middle-aged introverts trying to find their people in spaces. Huh. I don't really know, I'm not that familiar with everyone, so, you know, but that's been my frustration with interacting with some people in the clubs, and that's why I'm not going to that many other club meetings. I'm just going to the ASCM meetings that I'm on the board of, and I think PVAS might be having like a trivia or something. I might go to that, because I think that would be cool. I'll go to certain stuff, but especially with gas being so expensive, it's been kind of nice. And I don't think I would have been able to pull off our first, well, not me, because I didn't even do like 30% of the work, but I think that it would have been harder to pull off the auction that we did if I was still going to all these different meetings, because it does eat into your weekends, and that is like one of the main times to get stuff done. Jeff said, I can understand that frustration, Jenna P, referencing the paranoia angle. Yeah. Listen, you got to get some people in there that are a bit more social, you know? Bring their friends along, maybe a little less paranoid. The thing is that I'm going to stand on what I said before. A lot of the folks aren't even like super young. Many of the fish YouTube viewers, and I'm talking about videos and live streams, are pretty old on average. I don't think this is like a young person's niche on YouTube. I mean, there's some people that make aquarium content that is specifically catered to younger people, but I think the majority of it is a bit older. Let me look at my audience demographics. Let me see. I don't have the larger sample size, so check this out. Here's my audience demographics. You ready? This is the last 28 days, I guess. Let me see. Let me double check what the time frame is. Yeah, last 28 days. Here's the demographics of people that watch my channel. Ready? Let's get a poll in the chat. I want to see, what do you guys think is the largest demographic that watch this channel? Okay, give me 1 second. What age range watches this channel the most? Okay, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna do 4 options. Okay. 18 to 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, 45 to 54. Let's do those. I just put a poll in the chat. You guys vote. Okay. What age range watches this channel the most? Most people refer to me as kind of a younger fish hobbyist. Like when I go to the meetings, I definitely come, I think I do, this is my opinion, this is my perceptions, I come across as kind of a younger guy. So Jenna P says, wait, does everyone die at 55? It didn't let me put more options than that, but the above 55 is not the correct answer anyway, so Some of his generation were changed with the current outlook on work ethic and being responsible. Jenna, while you're getting your hearing aid, get Nick a diaper. What the fuck? Steven said 50 plus. I honestly get views from people in their 30s. I'm 33, so it makes sense. Jenna said, let me grab a hearing aid to finish listening to Nick. That's hilarious. Jose said, I'm one of the young ones at 64. Yes, you're definitely a young man, for sure. For sure. Mexicali said, everyone here is mostly over 30. Steven says, for my channel, it's 25 to 34 is his most. Okay. SVC said, why does it go to 35 to 55 and 45 to 54? Because that's how I typed it. Okay, I typed it wrong. I mean, Fish and J said, I'm not even in the bracket. It only let me do 4 options. I typed it very quickly. Just vote something. I'm pulling up the answer on the screen. Oh my goodness. All right. So you guys vote what you think, but I'm going to end the poll now that the answer's on the screen. I'm going to give 10 seconds for people to vote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And some of you are proving my point because some of you say you're too old for the poll. Well, let me end it. Okay, so most people voted 35 to 55 and then 25 to 34. Not many people voted 45 to 54. So my most is 25 to 34 at 42%. And then the second most is 35 to 44, 29%. And 45 to 54. Now, another thing to remember about these stats is they're not reported very accurately on YouTube, right? But the point is that most people are probably in their 30s. Like, if you combine my 35 to 44, my 45 to 54, one's 29, one's 16%. So, combined, that is 45, right? Around 45%. So, 42% of people are 25 to 34 that watch me, but 45% of people are above the age of 35. Cinnamon said, you have one oldie. I'm 56, going to be 57 in May. Congratulations. Still young, still young. So, yeah. Difference from regular watchers and members and people that come across the videos. That's true, too. And I would say the people that regularly watch me are all older than the people that just come across my videos, I think, for the most part. Because the people that regularly watch me, I do talk to. Like, I know Mick is not 20. I know Mick's not in his 20s. JP's not in the 20s. I know Cinnamon, you're not in your 20s. Fish and J said opposite end here, 17. Oh, you're 17. You're not even 80. What's going on? Bomba's 21. I'm not gonna guess everyone's age, but I don't think Jenna. I don't think Jeff. I don't think Steven. I don't think you're in your 20s. Mexicali's like 100. Yeah. So, 38 will be 39 in November. So, still relatively young, but I don't know. Now, who actually considers themselves to be a YouTuber? I feel like that's a hard thing to call yourself, so, yeah. Mick said I'm older than JP. It kind of sounds like you're bragging when you put it like that, Mick. I mean, you do kind of know everything, so this guy's got a lot of experience for sure. Jacob said define YouTuber. I can't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I feel like a YouTuber, you gotta make your main living off of YouTube. Like, you're full time doing it. To me, that's what a YouTuber is more like to me. You know what's an interesting one? Garden of Eater. Mexicali said, not until I have 50k subs, then I might consider myself a YouTuber. Yep. Then Jeff said, do you live off your YouTube income? I agree. That's kind of what I would say. Garden of Eater, they definitely live off of some amount of their income, but they also sell shrimp. Like, I brought them up because there's someone we all know. They're on YouTube. They do live stream, but they don't really post videos very often. They just live stream every now and then, you know? They live stream every now and then. It's not like they're getting 20,000 views. I mean, I think they're very well known, but I have to say that they mostly make money off of selling shrimp and stuff, right? So This is one where it's like they're kind of on the line to me. Like, I don't know if I'd necessarily just classify them as YouTubers. You know, I'd say they're shrimp breeders. You know, but that's just kind of how I think about things. Jenna P said, Carter Veter also goes to a lot of conventions and make a good bit there, as well as connections. Yeah. YouTube is an extension of their business, just said. Yeah. So that's I think of them about their business first before I think about them about YouTube. Let me go to Dan's Fish. He's a bit more of a YouTuber, I guess. He does post some YouTube videos kind of regularly. Although, oh wow, it's been 2 months, but he did have a run of posting videos like once a month here that did all right. He does a regular live stream, but still mostly the business, and YouTube's how he promotes it. But I don't know. He puts a bit, he intentionally makes content for YouTube. He does some more tours. I think he's still a business that does YouTube. Steven said, my YouTube revenue is about 1% of our annual household income, so I don't think I'm a YouTuber. Okay, so your household income is just like 100 billion and you just make 1 million off your YouTube, Steven? Alright. Don't you think that's a little out of touch? Next guy said they're smart for using their popularity to drive their business. And then Jenna, yeah, did say I would consider Dan more of a business who does YouTube. Ah, that's a good example. I feel like KG Tropicals probably has more of a ratio of being YouTube primarily. That's a good point. This to me is this is definitely a YouTuber. Now it is kind of interesting though, because they do have Keep Fish Keeping that they've had for a while. I don't know what came first, their business. So they're another one they've always done. I feel like they've had a business and YouTube at the same time, but I mean, they have over 500,000 subscribers. They post pretty regularly, so I feel like YouTuber. Fish NJ said, Dan is so washed, their stock is dry. I agree. Their stock has been pretty mid. Daku. Honestly, I saw Daku on like Reddit first, and I saw him on Instagram. I think he's more of a business that promotes on social media. Really. If anything, he's like a Reels. He's like a vertical short form creator. Like, he doesn't even have any videos on YouTube. It's just shorts. When was this posted even? Yeah. So he's more of like a shorts, Reels person. Jacob said I talk to him on Facebook all the time. There you go. Bamba said tell him send me some boosts. Yeah, KG Tropical is a YouTuber. Primetime is a YouTuber. But these are big channels, so I feel like it's kind of like easy to call them YouTubers. I'm trying to think of like a smaller channel, but you still would say like they're a YouTuber. Like, be honest. Oh, Sentiment said Fatherfish. Well, that's another person that's just like so big. But like, what do you think? Do I fit in as someone that goes to all these events? I'm a club member, I'm a club president and all that stuff, and I live stream on YouTube, or am I a YouTuber to you guys? Because some of us in the chat, we all live stream, but you guys live stream almost as much. You live stream basically as more or as much as I do. You know, maybe have more subscribers. Would you say I'm a YouTuber? I feel like that's kind of suspect. You know what I mean? Like that's where the definition gets a little bit strange. Mick said you're a YouTuber to me. See, that's where it's kind of like interesting, because some of the people in the chat do very similar things to me. Or the people that we're looking at other people that have like 75,000 subscribers in a business, and you're just a poser, Mexicali said. I could agree with that. JP said 50% YouTuber. Stephen P said you're a YouTuber when the locals are mad at you. Well, then I'd just be a YouTuber all the time. Ross said bought from Daku 2 times a couple years ago, and the Rams were shit. Not gonna lie, I was pissed. The pictures of Rams he had looked good. What I got was not. That's unfortunate. I mean, maybe just bad luck. I've only heard good things about Daku, but I've never bought his Rams. I did buy some red algae from him once. But yeah, I'm a lot of people are saying I'm a YouTuber to them. I feel like that's where I'm like, okay, but we just saw all these other people are YouTubers. Now I'm the YouTuber? Mama said, why are you buying fish from him? That's a boost only. Yeah, Father Fish is obviously a YouTuber. Okay, how about like this? Jeff Pelham. Is he a YouTuber? Under our definitions. He do got some pretty lit online auctions. I feel like he live streams a lot, but I do too. Jenna said, I think if you don't have a YouTube account or use the platform at all, anyone who does seems like a YouTuber. Cinnamon says, look, I have my opinion on who's a YouTuber. I agree with the definition. You're a YouTuber if it's like something that you make a significant amount of income on, or something where you're clearly trying to make it. You know what I mean? Like if you're putting in 30 hours a week into your YouTube channel, then you're probably trying to make it a, more significant part of your thing. So maybe you're a YouTuber. Jen says, you consume YouTube as media. You understand that having a channel isn't the same thing. Mexicali said, I think that when YouTube is your main source of income, then you're a YouTuber. Until then, it's just a hobby. Yeah, I agree with that. Jacob said, I like YouTube just for community more than anything. I agree with that too. I see it as more of an extension of my fish keeping hobby and a way to socialize. That's kind of how I see it. What about this? Bentley Pascal. This is a YouTuber, right? Like, come on. We got the clickbait titles on the videos, posting regularly. He generated like 2 weeks worth of content for everyone. Come on, let's go. Bentley MVP FishTube YouTuber. Ross said he wants to be a YouTuber. I think that qualifies you. Oh, I like it. Jenna said, YouTube is ultimately social media. You want to call everyone who uses Facebook an influencer. Oh, that's interesting. I might call them a micro-influencer, though. Holy. Jacob said, I love being here so much because of the community, and then said, fuck Bentley. He tried to argue with me on his video about breeding for profit. Ross said, just yappy. Wait, where was he arguing with you about breeding for profit? Let's rate your argument skills. Where's Jacob at? See, look at all the people that commented on this, man. It did what it was supposed to do. Look at this engagement farming. Come on. Oh, Jacob said, didn't you buy some really expensive blue Moscow guppies just to keep for fun, huh? That's hilarious. Billy said, they're not that expensive compared to some. See, this is a terrible defense opening. How much are blue moss? Well, you probably got like some specific thing, so I probably can't find the equivalent. Yeah, well, they're selling 20 fry for $52. That seems expensive. They're selling fry of these things for money? Imagine paying for guppies. I'll pay for some nice guppies. If you're not teaching me something, you're more or less just a YouTube personality. Alright. Anyways. They're not that expensive compared to some, but I bought them for myself. More than a few videos out there where I explained when I sell them at a price to make them affordable for folks that I want them in the hobby and don't care about the money. Yeah, every person selling stuff ever says this. I've had a person offer me way too much money for some in the past and declined it. And you just responded right. Yeah, I don't think there's too much else to say. Mix said, agree, anyone sharing a view is a mini YouTuber. Alright. I think we got into the bottom. Of what a YouTuber is. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. What's some other smaller... What are YouTube... People that are going to the Clash when they said the YouTubers? Come on. Bougie Bishfish. Is Bougie a YouTuber? Holy. We might have found the engagement pod. Part of the YouTube boycott. Jeff said, if income doesn't matter, then everyone who logs into YouTube is a YouTuber. Then Ross said, now I'm trying to make some money. Yeah, Ross don't do he don't do the discounts. I'm not saying he doesn't sell for a small affordable price, but he's not one to be like, yeah, let me devalue my fish as much as possible so hopefully someone buys it. Yeah, he doesn't do that. What are the YouTubers? Mexicali Fish Keeper. This is definitely a YouTuber. 3,000 subscribers. Did he already do the plug? Let's see. I missed the plug, but if I was there, then I would have seen who the YouTubers are. What the? Mexicali brought on himself as a guest? 1 second. This is crazy. Yo, whoa. We got a meeting of the minds here, bro. Yo, what do you think the one on the left is thinking versus the one on the right? Stephen P said, if you primarily post TikTok videos, then repost those videos on YouTube with the TikTok watermark still there. Are you a YouTuber? No. Ross said, there's levels. You could be an amateur YouTube, intermediate, and then full-time. Steven said the plug comes full circle. Mexicali's next plug is Mexicali Fish Keeper. Yo, this is how he got over to 3,000. He's going to get to that 50,000 one Mexicali at a time. Look at this. So Mexicali, how did you start talking about the plenums, the filters? I was going through your channel. Well, you see, I was doing research and blah, 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 blah. And all right. Look, I have another question. Wait, let me hit this cigar. So, Mexicali. Yes, Mexicali. What's up? How do you feel about swamp tanks? Now, that would be a great conversation. Mexicali talking and interviewing Mexicali about swamp tank. Come on. That would be the ultimate debate. Left Mexicali is con. Right Mexicali is pro. Jacob said plenums used to be really popular, apparently. Okay, let's see. The High Desert Fish Room. Okay, 79 subscribers. So I guess everyone's a YouTuber. Yeah. Shout out Mexicali the plug. I'll put the link to the plug in the chat if you guys want to see some fish tubers that he's highlighting. Yeah. What a guy. Mexicali is the only person that can interview himself like that. Oh, we got, let me see, Guppy Girl. Let's see. Is this a YouTube? If you have a thumbnail, you're a YouTuber. Oh shit, I'm a YouTuber. We got a Higer Light review. I really enjoy Jorge's interviews with people. Yeah, Mexicali. Mexicali's the GOAT. Mix says Jorge finds other tubers, helps other tubers to find things to discuss. Stir it up. Yeah, I'm surprised Mexicali hasn't hit me up to jump on the Discord, man. The streams, you know, what am I even gonna talk about now? I need someone to rile things up. That's why I do like the Bentley and what's the other guy's name? The guy that decided to betray Fatherfish. I can't remember his name. When you want to have me on, Jorge, we can talk about conversation. Jorge's a cool dude. Jorge is the one. He's the fish channel I watch the most right now. Only the most passionate hobbyists review Higer products. That's what I'm saying, bro. I've done like 5 Higer live streams, so I guess I'm a YouTuber. Ross said, once you make YouTube a full-time venture, that's when you're a YouTuber no matter the subs. Once you go all in, that's what you are. For life. Oh, Patty's Aquatics, yes. That's a YouTuber for sure. For sure. But I guess it's easier to call someone a YouTuber when you only know them because of their YouTube videos. Like, to me, I'm saying my role as a YouTuber is a little bit more suspect. I like to think that I'm pretty community-oriented. I haven't posted that many videos. We mostly do live streams. I talk about local events a lot. But at the same time, you look at the channel, it looks like a YouTuber to me. Jacob said, I'll put reviews for free stuff any day. Yeah. Do I have to email Higer or what? Do they have requirements? Listen, you start making videos, they'll message you eventually. They'll message you eventually. I think that's the hardest part of live streaming is is it really responsible to go all in when you're not at least close to being? No, it's not. You should you should be making money, a decent amount of money on YouTube before you try to go all in on it. That's just my opinion. Ross said nothing higher in here ever again. Oh my gosh, bro. Come on. I just got a tripod after finals. I'm gonna make actual videos. So that should be cool. Yeah, you know, the streaming thing, it's funny when Steven said like you're a YouTuber when the locals are mad at you or whatever. Like, it really, I mean, going to all the different events was a lot. It's not like there was that much drama or whatever, but like just every time talking about something, it just, oh my god, bro. Sometimes it's like, is it even worth it? Like, all these people are so irritating. But you just have to get to a place where just like, whatever, you know, it doesn't really matter. A big deal. But I think it is a little bit, when I see the Clash cancellation, it pretty much validates my feelings about how some people are treated and how things are run. Like, I just think it's a symptom of a bigger issue. Jacob says they don't like me here because they all want my fish but don't want to pay for them. Oh man, we got a businessman. Bamba said Team F zone, and then Mexicali said Bamba, you will always be in the friend zone. Jesus. Like, I used to do a lot more talking to people locally. Like, I used to do a lot more, like, talking to people on the phone and trying to keep up with what's going on. I basically stopped doing all that because it just becomes... I've learned an important lesson for sure. I learned an important lesson. Like, one, it's not like I just believed anything anyone ever told me, but, like, some people, they just like talking too much. And I like talking too, but, you know, I don't really want to know what's going on all the time. You know what I mean? I don't really need to know every single small fight different people have. Talking to people on the phone, gross. Yeah, like, I talking to people on the phone, all it leads to is eventually, like Louise, she's mad at me. I used to talk to her on the phone all the time. I think the only person that, well, I called Mexicali a little bit ago, but all it ever leads to is basically being aware of things, and then just being aware of those things makes it more stressful. Mexicali said, you and me both, Nick. And then what I've learned is that, like, a lot of times when people like to talk a lot, they're talking a lot to a lot of people. You know what I mean? So now you're entering a universe of just all this chatter going on. And, you know, Mexicali said, you and me both. Wait, what part you and me both, Mexicali? Did you learn a lesson or you just like to talk? Because I know we both like to talk. What was I saying? Yeah. You enter this chatter and everyone's got an agenda. You know what I mean? Everyone has an agenda for the most part. Not literally everyone, but a lot of people, when they're telling you something, there's a reason why they're telling you it. You know what I mean? And then when you don't go along with certain narratives, they get upset. So a lot of the times with local event stuff and club stuff and things like that, if you look at how they put out the statements and you look at how they respond in discords and the people defending and making up excuses, you know, they have a specific kind of narrative they want to get off, and they're very unhappy when people don't react or see things that way, you know. And I think that it's hard in a world where anyone can give their opinion at any time. Like, you got to be able to deal with negative feedback better than that, because I get a lot from negative feedback. I like when people, I mean, I don't like when people are just mean to me. Like, I've definitely had people say stuff to me that bothered me, you know. But feedback's good. You can learn from it, and especially if you're an organization, like, you can't take things super seriously. Ross said, super personally is what I meant to say. I always super surprised when my phone rings and I ignore it. Camden said, everyone can tell when people are just pushing out sponsored videos, acting like every product is amazing. Never being real that they went all in. And Mexicali said, I talk too much and don't know shit. There you go. Or, hey, don't talk to yourself like that. Ross said, I've always been a loner, even big groups. Sniper life, hoo-ah. I mean, you'll see it in chats. Like, there are people that don't like each other, and it's awkward to the point where if they're watching a live stream and they see the other person in the chat online, they do not want to say anything in the chat. And enough of you are in enough of this engagement pod stream universe that I know you probably can think of a couple of people like that. Mick said, I say keep going on. A serious but critical British soccer nerd building his channels to 1.2 million subs because he showed reality to attenders of the owners of the club. Now his club bought him 7 figures. Oh, wow, that's a good story. Jacob said, Ross, in the same way, I sit back and examine and listen and go about my own way. Yeah, I've definitely been. I'm with you, Ross. I've definitely tend to be a bit of a loner in my own life for sure. Yeah, there's plenty of people I can think of that I know that they don't like someone, and for instance, I'm a person that I live stream regularly, so there are people that watch my stream that don't like each other. So I'll see when one person early on in the stream will be typing in the chat, then I'll see the other person type in the chat, and I know that other person is still watching, but they refuse to talk in the chat after someone else is around, you know? Jenna said, I think you have to take product reviews with a grain of salt when those products were just unboxed. A lot of good things, good enough on the first use. How you doing a year later? I agree. That's why I like the Higer live stream stuff, because it's literally, I open it, I try it out, and then over the course of time in the live stream, we see how some stuff does, you know? Now, I haven't really... The real test is something like more mechanically focused where it might actually fail after a while. I've mostly just had a light or two. Kanjen said, that's why we all keep fish. People suck, but fish people are cool AF. Cinnamon said, I'm a no drama llama. I get along. Bamba said, 30 people watching, but 14 likes. Lock in. Jacob said, Bamba, where's your membership at? Where's green? No, you don't. No need to sub. Shit. Where is Yeah, I'm gonna hop in the Discord VC for a bit, just in case anyone wants to say hi in my tanks. If you want to talk about any topics we got going on, the Clash and whatnot, put a link in the chat. Ross said, I'd love someone to do water changes with and do breeding projects with. Need that fish-loving baddies to knock on my door. Jacob said, I'm just playing. You don't need to sub, yeah. In chat is one thing. If they're all on the panel, I'm out. If they're regular, I stop going altogether. Oh, wait. So, Jeff, you're saying there are people that you do not like. If you're in the chat, it's fine. But if they're on the panel or regular, you stop going. Okay. I'm trying to think. Is there anyone that I do not like enough that if they're on it... I only watch Mexicali Fishkeeper, though, really. Okay, Jeff said 100%? Okay. So let me go to Mexicali and see if there's anyone he's ever had on that I'm like... If they're in the chat or if they're in whatever, I'm out. One second. Mexicali Fishkeeper. My thing is that since I'm aware of this dynamic, I just assume me being there makes them more uncomfortable than it makes me, so it doesn't really bother me. So I guess that's why it doesn't come up as much for me. Let's see. Ooh, guys, I'm put the link to this. Flowers with Horns. He be in the stream sometimes. He seems like he knows a lot about fish. I need to make sure. Mexicali's interviewing him tomorrow at 11 p.m. God damn it, that's late. I'm gonna still try. Damn, my card declined. Tried to sub, spent all the money at 88. That's fucking crazy. Don't worry about it, bro. Companies often want to be top dog. Yeah. I hear you, Mick. Woman love baby fish. Man, everyone loves baby fish. Okay. Okay. Anyone Mexicali have I don't like on so far? Nope. Oh, I don't know. Clips Aquatics? Questionable. No, I was actually in there. Oh, in my takes? Questionable. No. I've been in most of these, so That's the one main live stream I watch. Let me see. Wave makers. Wave makers. Fish keeping. They got people up, but I can't think of anyone really. I really can't. Have a good day, everyone. Cinnamon, you have a good day. Hope you're doing all right. Maybe it's just my town. Everyone here is a drunk. Oh, nice. Nice, okay. Look, these things happen, you know. Sometimes that's just a vibe. Everyone here is a drunk. It's kind of crazy, man. Give me 1 second. I put the wrong link in the chat for the Discord. 1 second. Ah. I'm so bad at this. There we go. There's the right link. Waymakers is on the MNC Aquatics channel. Okay. Come on. Who's willing to be honest? You guys tell me who you're beefing with on the panel that you want to go to. Come on. Vasily Man said, I'm trying to do an aquaculture program in Madison to get out of here. It's true. WK Iowa drinks more than the rest of the country put together. God damn. You was quiet while watching 10G tanks? No, I thought I asked. I don't know if did I watch that one live? Well, I think that would be fine. Mexico guy said, hopefully I address my connection issues today and picking up a mesh system after work. So will you be able to interview yourself still? Okay, wave makers. This is a pretty big panel.
Just surviving. I find my fries.
Oh, come on. We got Cheryl up here. No, this is great. No, this is great. We got Skull, MC, Lumi. I don't. Is Lumi someone that posts in Fishcord? I don't think I know her. There's someone in Fishcord that posts a lot of breeding stuff, though, that I thought their name was close to that. I don't know. Jeff Kane? Okay, Jeff Kane's up in there. Jeff Kane's up in there, I don't know. JP said, I like the funk / Discus North beef. I do. I think the funk and Discus North beef is one of the more entertaining things that happen. I think that neither of them have the emotional maturity or self-control for that to occur, though. Like, I think it's impossible. Like, I think both of them were actually getting too upset for it to happen. And then Discus North did kind of pussy out that situation. Jenna said, Lumi is in Fishcord and posts a lot about her goldfish and koi. Yep, I'd seen that. Okay. See, I know what's up a little bit. I'm fish pods. I'm engagement pod certified. Now, this Jeff Kane guy, I don't know if he's on the panel. Cheryl said, no bad mouthy wave makers. It's a mixture of, yeah, no, I like wave makers. No, we were talking about, we started with the Keystone Clash, and then we're talking about all sorts of stuff. And then it got to, like, how some people, they really don't like someone else that kind of also hangs out in a lot of live streams, like how they won't even talk in the chat if they see other people in the chat. And then Jeff was like, chat is fine, but if they're on the panel or regularly, then I'm out, you know? Jenna P said closed engagement loop is the new term. That's hilarious. So I was pulling up the panel like, okay, come on. Who would not be able to watch because they're just so upset? Jeff Kane, I don't know if I could sit through that, man. I just dislike him too much. These are good panels. Oh, Mitchell Broom? I clicked on the right one.
Nope, didn't work.
Mick said Foxy and Peplin are great breeders of fish. Michelle said agree. Yeah, this is great. I really want to think of someone that, like, I wouldn't want to be around. There's no one that I would care about them being in the chat. That don't bother me at all. There are people that I don't want to listen to. You know what I mean? Jacob said, I don't like to talk in the chat when Louise is around because she always seems to be right and I don't want to share my opinion. Ryan Bushnell said, I'm here now too. What's up? What's up, Ryan? Do you have a... That's a good point. There are some people that like to correct other people. Like Mick. I would hate to be giving my opinion on Apistos, because I know that Mick could be in the chat and he's going to just immediately correct me. You know what I mean? Or you know what? Captain, our mod-in-chief, Captain's Critters, she's very quick to correct me on stuff too. I actually have to try and pay attention to what I say when she's around. You know what I say? So I get what you're saying, Jacob. I get what you're saying. I like these panel stuff though. I'd love to do some more panel streams myself. I've been doing a lot of just random stuff, not coordinating. Hey, so if you're in the chat, you want to come do a panel stream with me, let me know. Let me know. I don't think I've had Jeff on the stream before. I need a Jeff. We need to do a panel draft pick. The only person I truly give a hard time is L's Fish Tanks. It's fun to push his buttons. Okay, that's fun. Bomba said, did you set up the CO2 splitter? I've been too scared to mess with it, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we're having some kind of intervention or therapy session. That's what live streaming's for, man. What do you want to say? Bomba said, bro, I know I got the another diffuser, and I got the splitter. Set it up. I'm scared. I'm too scared. Excuse me. Excuse me. We just bought 16 new to us tanks. Puts us over 100. Oh my god. I just broke. Oh shit. I think I just 1 second. I didn't mean to delete your message, Ryan. I hit the wrong button. Crap. My bad. Let me I'm putting on the screen the message. I pressed the wrong button. I'm so sorry. Ryan said, we just brought 16 new to us tanks, puts us over 100. I don't know where to put them in this small house. Bro, I was trying to hit the go to channel button. My apologies. My apologies. Love to trip on fish. Shit happens. Bomba, let's do a car detail stream. Yo, have you guys noticed that there's a decent amount of fish people still in the car that are in the cars? I've been noticing that. So love to fit. I was trying to see if you had a video of all your fish tanks. Let's go. Over 100. That's a pretty discus. Jeff said, memories are short. Mexicali should remember the community member auctioning off items they didn't have and was reluctant to refund until I got pushed into publicly calling it out. Wait, what? Jeff, what kind of scam artists are you talking about, bro? Who is auctioning off items they don't have? I'm not sure I'll get past that disappointment. I mean, that seems kind of ridiculous. Buff and waxing cars is therapeutic. I make black cars look like mirrors. Ooh. I mean, I think if you enjoy detailing, I can see why. Oh, look at this. Love to trip on fish. We got a Harley fat boy on the shorts amongst the fish. See, I'm proving my point. We got the vehicles. Cam Jen said, items they didn't have. W2F. Yeah, who was that? Marble hatchets. I do love marble hatchets. We got some zebra plecos. Oh, heck yeah. That's a pretty looking fish. Okay. Let me see. This closed engagement loop's going crazy. What events are coming up? Let me look at the auctions. Oh, well, yo. Okay, a little bit back to the Keystone Clash thing a bit, but I think Scotty is planning his return to the event stage. Like, I know he's been involved in NEC and all that, but I forget what thread it was under, but he was basically like, I'm about to have another event possibly I'm working on. So shit, we'll find out if he's the golden goose or whatever or not, because if he gets involved in planning another event, then it better be good. Okay, I've been hearing all this glaze. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see something. Wait, let me find the freaking comment, bro. I swear I saw these. I think it's like an NEC in April 2027, perhaps, is a potential event occurring. I did want to talk about some upcoming events, so as we kind of chat through things, I'm gonna start bringing up some random events coming forward. But let me see if I can find what the heck is going on. How do you protect the paint afterwards? No clear coat. Oh wait, Ryan says I paint cars, so wax is not in my shop. And then Jacob said, how do you protect the paint afterwards? No clear coat. Liquid carnubia is a must. Rush Bushnell said clear coat is not a wax. And then Bama said I do paint correction and ceramic coating and PPF, no washing for me. Yo, look at these car nerds right here. Ooh, Scotty said yesterday he was voted to help run the NEC 2027 event in Whip stream yesterday. Let's go. We got a replay. Let's go. Whip's World Fish. Whip's World, right? Oh my god, I'm so bad at name. Whips. What is this channel name? I literally just saw it. Whip Aquarium. I'm just gonna wait for someone to tell me. You know what? I just saw it in the Wave Makers chat or something like that. Hold up. He said it was in the chat. It wasn't on the. He wasn't on the panel. Oh my god, bro. He always be talking about shit in the chat. He posted it on a Facebook comment. That's what I'm trying to see. Yeah, I got a picture of this of it. 1 second. There we go. Yeah. So this is under a post somewhere about the Keystone Clash being canceled. And Scotty said, it sucks, but keep your eyes open for an NEC convention in April 2027. Hint, hint. The Scotty Revenge Tour. Come on. Can he get another event to be successful while the Clash had to cancel? Well, we'll find out. If he's the secret sauce, then I want to be impressed. There's been too much Scotty Glaze. Come on. Let's see. Narrowed down to Scranton, PA, or Bradley Airport and CT. Nothing is signed or confirmed yet. Still in the research stage. Come on, make it closer. April might be doable, Jeff said. Yeah, why not? I mean, make it an achievable size. Whip's World. Has too many other people people have been talking about on live streams the Clash being canceled? Nick's got receipts. Some slight. You know. Clash. Oh, whoops, whip. I know Big Steve was mad. Alright, here we go.
Fish? I heard.
Wait, Father Fish was chiming in on the Clash? Let's go! I'm putting in my other headphones for this. Jeff said I need more gap between events. Jacob said, I'd like to go to the Clash sometime. Where's it at? It's typically in Pennsylvania. The Aquatic News Network. Come on, man. Where's your video reporting on the Clash being canceled? You're supposed to be the news. I'm just messing with you. Okay, Father Fish came in on Whip's channel to comment on the Clash being canceled. Oh, this is great. And we're cool to milk this for another hour. Father Fish said, hi guys, I heard the Clash was canceled because YouTubers were upset about leadership changes. I did not know anything about this. Have you guys heard anything? What is he talking about? But to be fair, there are people that you would think would know about these things that were basically saying the same stuff. Ross said on the live stream auction last night, showing the audience my Blue Dream Shrimp and Boom 3 LDA 08 Claro Plecos popped out. Then a moment later, a couple more than Boom. There were 7 out in my view. Oh, okay. You were showing them on screen and they all popped out. That's nice. Let's see what Father Fish is asking.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Father Fish.
I heard the Clash was canceled because YouTubers were upset about leadership changes. I did not know anything about this. Have you guys heard anything?
Just to clarify, so this is what the consensus has been in the chat. It's not that it was a YouTuber boycott. I'll be honest. The two main narratives of why has now kind of come down to sponsorships were not being worked as they should have, and also Scotty was doing a lot of work that didn't end up getting done by the two people that replaced him. That's what people seem to be saying the most in the chat. So not as much as like YouTubers being mad about leadership changes, but it seems more like just a failure of organization.
It's all speculation at this point as to why, but it definitely was canceled. I don't know.
I don't think you could. I don't think it all had anything to do with YouTubers.
I don't think anything. Right.
It's not run by YouTubers.
It's all internal, I think. I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't get their proverbial poop in, straightened out before.
You said they couldn't get their shit together.
They ran out of time.
Stephen B says.
Wait. Let's see what the chat be up to. Hold up. Let me print out these comments real quick. Holy. Chat live replay. All right. Let's see.
It has
Let me go back.
Proverbial poop in, straightened out before. They ran out of time.
Oh, Scotty's in the chat. Come on, Scotty. Give us the tea.
Stephen B says it has nothing to do with YouTubers at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people may try to throw us under the bus because they like to.
Steven,
yeah,
clearing the YouTubers
they've hated
once
us
again.
for a long time.
Thank you, Steven.
Since we invaded, basically. They liked their little club thing, and they didn't like us.
Does Steven have any info?
Damn, bro. The sentiment on the club people is so negative. That's crazy. I didn't realize so many different YouTube people felt that way. Like the club look down on them or whatever. James said, too many people in the hobby want to do it alone. No one wants to collaborate. Do it yourself and don't make a dime. Two buds make a dime every day. Okay. Ross said, I was watching the stream last night. Love Whip. Let's go.
Oh, he could share with us?
No, he doesn't, unfortunately. He has shared what he can share. There may be more information out there, but he's only allowed to say what he has said.
Oh, man.
I know Jenna was on the council, I believe.
But I mean, it wouldn't be. I mean, it's run by two clubs, so it's never been run by YouTubers. So
right. No, I think it was like in 2001 is when YouTubers.
But YouTubers did volunteer.
Really jumped into it. There's Jenna right there.
2001.
I think no.
He said 2001. When was YouTube founded? I just love the way. Yeah, 2005. That was funny.
He jumped into it. There's Jenna right there.
2001.
Yo,
shout out to this guy for catching the mystery.
2021. Sorry.
That's
I was
funny.
going to say that's a lot.
No, it was like the year or maybe 2020. It was Rico went there, and he really talked it up.
Ross said, "I learned through the years. Don't get involved." I like he's already starting. It's like Rico went there and talked it up. It's like, yeah, you're having people that go and then talk to a bunch of people about how great it was is a positive thing.
Talked it up. And that first year, he was able to pull in quite a few people, but the second year is when we really
what the
filtering in.
What is Father Fish talking about? There's no way that this is true. Father Fish said one of the clubs had a total meltdown. Most of the board resigned, according to my source. Does anyone know if like that? Just I haven't heard anything of CCY or ACLC having the whole board resign. That's kind of crazy. I feel like Father Fish just be in here talking about anything, according to my source. What's the source? The bat guano we be smoking.
And then Pep and Foxy got married last year, and that really, I think we damn near had everybody that was anybody.
Jesse, I think you may hear about that in the future, Nick. All right. I'm not saying I would be surprised that that's what happened, but actually that would make a lot of sense as to how this is played out. Most of the board are one of the clubs. Then I had to guess what club it is. I don't know. I know I feel like I heard about, was it Michael? I heard about like some people having issues with work-life balance. You know what I mean? I don't know who it was, so let me not even say a single name. But like, I could see some people resigning from clubs because they got other shit to do. But like a mass board resignation would be kind of surprising. Surprising is something to hear about. Not surprising as far as morale goes. That's one of the things that I feel like clubs need to pay more attention to, is the board morale. Because in some previous things I've worked in, I interacted with a lot of nonprofits and volunteer organizations, and shit just doesn't really go well in volunteer organizations when it's not enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not like feeling like you're saving the world and that's your enjoyment out of it, then you're probably just doing a fish event and it's like a miserable, it's stressful and all that kind of stuff, but you're also not changing the world while dealing with that. It's kind of a hard place to be. I feel like there are some clubs where I've talked to board members, I've just gone and you can visibly see how stressed out the volunteers are. And if there was a mass board resignation and meltdown, then I would imagine that was one of those situations where people were kind of unhappy for a bit and it came to a breaking point, would be my guess. Father Fish rap capping off of dementia pills? No, apparently it sounds like that may have happened.
Except for you, Doc. You had
shout out. Yo, Father Fish broke the news. One of the clubs, CCY ACLC, according to Father Fish's source, had him total meltdown and most of the board resigned. Now, I'll be honest, if that's the case, that makes a lot more sense as a reason of the Clash being canceled than anything else. Because if it's a club-run thing and half the club board resigned, like, that's a lot going on. I don't know. I don't know how much crossover between the club board and the Clash committees and stuff is. Maryland needs another big fish deal. Make it happen, Nick. Bring the aquarium clubs of Maryland together to create an all-star team. Legitimately, yeah. I definitely think we'll have some kind of big fish deal thing at some point. I don't know if I'm the one that's going to make it happen, but I do think that there are collaborative people in the hobby that are starting to talk more, and I think we'll see some events happen. Yeah, I think we waited out the people that kind of like are burnt out and stuff. You know, they're gonna pass on the torch, and hopefully the people that pick it up are a bit more collaborative, a bit more open to suggestions, and leaning on volunteers and community in a way that's sustainable. Ross said, "Nah, you're the young mind needed and personality." I don't know about that personality part.
Going on.
I want to see if they bring up.
You know,
I want to see if they bring up
what
Father
Fish
Fish.
said is that if one of the clubs had a meltdown, that's probably what did it.
Yeah, and there was a couple presidents that were replaced, I think, is what I heard. I mean, I don't want to spread rumors or nothing, so I don't want to talk too much.
I don't want to spread rumors or nothing. Too late. Give us the tea.
I know there was only a few people that were changed out. I thought it was like the entire committee damn near was changed up, but it turned out it was only like 2 guys. So 2 or 3 guys.
Well,
you're not even over 5 foot in the whole event.
Contradictory info from Father Fish, so hard to tell.
Father Fish, I'd get a new source.
Wait. Scotty is saying, Jenna, you said that I might hear about it in the future. But now Scotty's saying, I'd get a new source. The board didn't resign either. Very wrong info. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. Someone hit up Scotty at his 6th job he's working today. Every time he's in the chat, he's like, yeah, I just got off my 3rd job. Jenna said Scotty didn't know. See, the Clash couldn't be relying on someone that could be this confidently wrong in a live stream chat. Come on.
The board didn't resign.
Ryan said, "The less I remember, the happier I am." Honestly, it took me. It's a constant thing you got to work on, but I've gotten to a place where I think so much less about the past than I used to, and it has been a great change. You know, not forgetting necessary lessons or things like that, but just focusing on the next moment has been really useful. Mick's laughing at Ryan saying, "The less I remember, the happier I am." And Bomba said, "The Scotty Glaze is insane." I know.
Resigned.
What's happening
very
here?
Wrong info. Yeah, right. Well, that's the same information I had. I thought everybody got fired or replaced. I don't know if fired is the right word.
I think
But
re-elect elections.
Jeremiah publicly posted on Facebook that he resigned from the CCY board. Oh, I did see that. I did see that. I didn't think. I totally forgot about that. Honestly, I didn't really think about it too much. I don't really know Jeremiah. I think is part of it. I don't know that. Like, why would I even know if something like this was happening? I really wouldn't. So, was there a reason given? All right, let's see. I'd forgotten about that. So, sadly, I have a hard post to make as I don't know when I'll be able to attend a club meeting and make an announcement in person. I thought it best to make my announcement here. It's been a pleasure to serve on the CCY board for many years. Sadly, I'm no longer to fulfill the role as your vice president. Between ACLC and CCY, I was going to guess that CCY was the club that had everyone resign, but I don't know if there's a difference in workload between CCY or ACLC. I feel like there's a lot of membership crossover. Maybe I'm wrong about that though. I'll continue my role on the Keystone Clash board and hosting the aquascaping competition. Hope to see everyone there. I wish for nothing but the continued success of our club and our shared love of this hobby. And the everlasting words of Tigger, TTFN. I'll be honest, I forget what that is. Ta-ta for now? Okay. Ta-ta for now. Great quote. Yeah, that was April something. Holy. I mean, that's one public announcement. That's vice president. But he said he's still going to help out with the Clash, though.
The very top. Yeah, just the very top, Fatherfish. That's Scotty. He knows.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Scotty, what is your information?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Spill the beans. Spill the beans.
Oh my gosh.
Second Sister says, I just got home from Walmart. Had you playing?
Okay.
Wrong. That's the problem. Your time.
Okay, Fatherfish said lots of misinformation.
That's the problem, Fatherfish. There's just a lot of wrong information.
Well, that's what happens when your announcement has little information in it. Then people just start making up shit.
Yeah, Scotty, speak freely.
Holy.
Lay it on us, Scotty.
On the committee, only one leadership change was made and 2 additional people added.
Okay, so Jenna and Steven have been correcting the record in all the live streams.
Only one was replaced.
4.
Another fish event. Well, Aquashella is happening that same weekend, I think. Is that what happened?
Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. It's not in the same city, but.
All right, guys. So what's some other events we should be looking at to go to? Let's see. Here's Scotty.
Aurora, and I got
coming in.
Yeah.
Talking about the NEC.
I got heads in this drawer, and I got the NEC will have a convention in 2027, April most likely. I was nominated and voted in as chairperson Wednesday night.
Yo, it's kind of crazy. Like the week that the Keystone Clash cancels, Scotty's nominated as a chairperson to upcoming convention. My goodness. The narratives paint themselves.
Have it narrowed down to 2 venues, nothing signed yet. So 2027. There you go, sir.
All right, Bluegrass Bash. You guys tell me the events that we should look at. Bluegrass Bash. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. Bluegrass Bash. Which one is it? Is it this one? Bluegrass Bash. Fish Keepers Association. God, this damn dog, bro. Just be yapping. What is it? The Bluegrass Bash. Oh, this is in Kentucky. Thomas said talk about the IAPLC. What's up, Mitch? Said the Bluegrass Bash is the ACA/ALA. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about this. How far is Kentucky from me? Yeah, 8 hours. Yeah, I can't do it. Buy me a plane ticket. A Bluegrass Bash. Yes, the American Cichlid Association, American Library Association, the International Betta Congress. I'm gonna put a link to this in the chat. You ever listen to bluegrass music? I mean, I have listened to it. I can't say that I do like all the time or anything like that. So I've in a way that 8 hours isn't too bad a drive. I know, but I hate driving. I don't like driving. I couldn't drive that far by myself. Sure. I'm driving 9+ hours to go to the bash. I know. I'm very lazy. Okay. Let's see. Get your ticket here. Let's see what the breakdown is. Tell me the cost. Alright, so if you want to go to the Bluegrass Bash, well, we should look at what the freaking offerings of the event is first, but $75 for adults until May 15th, so get your tickets now. Papa said, what the fuck is the bash? We got the Clash, now we got the bash. Come on. I hate driving over an hour. Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, what's the big deal? I don't like driving. And if I'm not even tired, I kind of just start like losing consciousness when I drive for too long. Ross said, Bluegrass Bash sounds like something going down in a sundown town. No evening sale if your brow gotta get going. Hit the dusty trail, you hear? That's hilarious. Discuss. Yo, we got a KFC polo, or is this like a... Wait a second. We got a KFC Bluegrass Bash polo shirt. Now I want this to replace my Sarah shirt, because black is a much better color. This is fire. This is a fire shirt. All right, I want this shirt. It says out of stock. Yo, someone give me a medium or a large. I guess large is in stock. Nah, that I like that. I'm not driving 8 hours for it, but Mitchell said, an 8-hour drive generally takes me 2 hours because I have to stop every 2 hours just to get around and walk around so I don't fall asleep. I'm the same way, Mitch. I start dozing off even if I'm not tired. I like the merch though, the KFC like thing, the play off of the chicken. Like, I like that. This is good. This is good shit. Good design. The back is kind of cool. I look for stuff that I could wear like fashionably outside of fish events sometimes. Like, maybe I'd want a black version of this shirt. I don't know if I like this green. I don't know if necessarily I wear this polo all the time, but it's definitely easier to pull off than the red color of the last Clash shirt. I have a hard time. It doesn't match my skin tone very well, you know. Jeff said, Mitchell, I'm lucky if I can make it an hour anymore. Okay, so I'm not the only one. $3 for a fish show entry. We got a kids decorating contest. We got an ACA cichlid show entry. Holy AI. Alright, let's see. Convention, about us. I want to see what's actually going on at this thing. Alright. This is all the different associations.
Fish fans, get ready. The Bluegrass Bash is in Kentucky.
Guys, come on. What? How we got the iStock by Getty Images in the middle? Bro, I will set up a camera in front of a random fish tank and said, like, get some footage from people, please. We got the story blocks. Stop. Come on. What is... with the AI voiceover. Oh, this is
the
nasty
Bluegrass
work.
Bash is in Kentucky, 4 days packed with everything aquatic. It learned from experts like Rusty Wessel, Gerald Griffin, and Dave Schumacher.
Okay.
On Friday, explore the Kentucky State
Guys, we got to do better than this on the stock footage videos. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me give you some. Let me spit some game. Okay. Let me spit some game. Cause that. Listen, I know there's probably a volunteer thing, like let's use the AI tools or whatever. This is fucking horrendous, okay? Like, AI is one thing. Watermarked stock footage with the AI over voiceover.
Fish fans, get ready. The Bluegrass, Gerald Griffin, and Dave Schumacher.
Now, I'm gonna spit some game to the people that did this, alright? Let's at least help you and get the watermark off, okay? Go to pexels.com, okay? P-E-X-E-L-S. You can get some license-free video. Okay, let's look up fish tank. There's not a whole lot, but there's something. Okay? Look at that. This is a minute long. That's a fish tank, no watermark. Alright, free to use. This looks usable. Yeah, okay, pexels.com. I think there's another one. Let me think. I think that's the main one. Did people approve that video? Listen. I don't know. I know Pexels is one of the main one. I can't remember what the other one is. But that works. Ross says, sounds like I'm not invited. What? You're invited. Come on. I thought it was Unsplash, but I think that's just photos. I know I'm forgetting one though. Anyways. Terrible impression on this.
Bid in our silent and rare fish auctions and join presentations on fish cognition, aquarium challenges, and conservation projects.
Oh, there are some photos in here. So yeah, Unsplash. Unsplash is good for license-free photos. Fish. Yeah, look at that. Look at all. No watermark on these. Was there a watermark on the photos? Yeah, there was. Like, come on, dog. This is crazy. Also, invideo/ACA. What is this? The funny thing is, ACA has a full-owned business that runs their conventions. Why in the world are they going that cheesy? InVideo is a text-to-video platform. No watermark AI video maker. Did they not pay for the watermark to be removed from this? Yeah, if there's a company, if there's anyone that claims to be a professional in charge of this, pack it up. Pack it up, bro. Ross said, it seems like a group of fish keepers could have asked for footage from people. I mean, especially all the YouTubers that are planning on going. You'd think some of them would have a damn video of a fish they could use. Like, what the fuck is this? Sunday teardown and swap. We got like a wet market over
with
here.
With award presentations and our lively swap meet perfect for trading, shopping, and networking. Whether you're here to learn, admire incredible fish, or connect with fellow hobbyists, the Bluegrass Bash is your ultimate aquarium adventure. Dive in and make a splash with us this year.
Wow. Dive in and make a splash with us this year. Inspiring stuff. Okay, I've heard a lot about this event though. Let's get to the schedule, the positives. I heard a lot of people are going. They're gonna have a good time. Someone needs to ask Celeb Pet how that video came to be. We know how it came to be. It's watermarked with what they used to make it. That's the crazy thing. So, here's my video breakdown. All right, this is. At one point, it's watermarked.
Fish fans.
invideo/aca.bash. Okay, so it's an AI generated. They didn't like go pick out, I believe, the stock footage. The AI generates a video based off the script with the stock footage. It's supposed to be license free or whatever. My guess is that they did not pay for it to generate it with no watermark. And they just like uploaded whatever the free sample thing was. Jeff said, it sounded like bluegrass music to me, not my taste, but accurate. Ross says, sound like it says get out before we were there. That's hilarious. So, yeah, I mean, it's AI slop, respectfully. But let's get to the schedule, because I'm sure there's a bunch of cool stuff about this event. But, you know, maybe I'd show a video of some pictures or photos from, you know, past events run by these organizations or something. Like ALA, ACA, they've all run some events. Like, was that under the About Us? Like, can we get some pictures of past events that look cool with this? Like, American Cyclist, we just got text in the title. The International Beta Congress, America Library, yeah. I mean, is there pictures on the homepage, or this is probably like an AI generated website? At least they didn't use the dueling banjos, Cheryl said. Just said I would prefer it. Man, the shirt design probably AI generated too. God damn. Alright, let's look at the speakers. Look at this. The speakers are all sponsored. Wow. Prestige Aquatics has sponsored a lot of them. Dave's Rare Fish. Shout out Dave's Rare Fish. I really like his site. Prestige Aquatics sponsored every single speaker. How much is their speaker sponsorships? Trying to see something. I think the last event most similar to this would be the Triple Crown from 2022. Okay. I need to get to the schedule, but they're not doing a great job of letting me know what this event's gonna be like. I like the countdown. We got a good list of sponsors. The site kind of loads. It's a little slow. Gerald Griffin is a great speaker for wild type betas. Yeah, one of the things that interested me the most was the International Beta Congress, and I've been getting a little bit more interested in betas. So definitely speakers talking about betas is something I would, especially like wild type stuff, is something I'd be interested in. Okay, so here's the event. We have we need some photos, man, on the site. We have an 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Embroom said the Bluegrass Bash is this year's Triple Crown. The ACA just makes a marketing name each year for the event. It's the same thing. Oh, okay. Interesting strategy. So 6 p.m. they have an early bird hospitality, bourbon tasting / pizza ticket required. Okay. Thursday, the ALA show open. 10 a.m. Prestige Aquatics booth. Free donuts and coffee. Let's fucking go. I like that. 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. showroom, vendor registration, rental room. Do they have a vendor thing? We'll have to see. Silent auction. Buffalo Trace Distillery tour and tasting. Is this added distillery? Hospital suite open. Kick room presentation. Gerald Griffin, Wild Betas. That sounds great. Presentation Dave Schwarmer. Wish You Calling Me. All right. Friday, Kentucky State University Aquaculture Lab tour. Limit 55. Do you have to pay an additional ticket for that? Because that sounds kind of cool. We got Prestige Aquatics booth with free donuts and coffee. Showroom. ACA silent auction. That's a silent auction. Sounds, that sounds kind of interesting. Kick room, some presentation challenges for the aquarium hobby. I like that. Fish Ark project and conservation. Cheryl said no, they're busing folks to the distillery. Okay. Jenna said we went to the Triple Crown. One thing we noticed was that the speakers were booked for the same time. Like a cichlid speaker could have talked at the same time as a killie speaker. It doesn't seem like that's the case this time around. So that's good. We got a NAGWG meeting and live bearer auction. I'm kind of curious about the focused auctions where it's like one species type. But there's much overlap in types of fish that people keep. Hopefully they worked that out. And it seems like maybe they did. We got a kick auction, kids only. We got a... Oh, this is what I heard about. Babes auction. Yo, is this where the fish baddies come out? Come on. The Babes auction. If they did it last year, then it should be the Triple Crown, right? Babes auction now. Fish. Triple Crown. This had to have been a thing. Oh, look, 6 years ago. Facebook, let's go. Babes. I found babes in the cichlid hobby. Bitch. Yes, that's what I heard about. The bitches. I think that's pretty cool. Bitches are 25 years old this year. We're a group. This is in 2019. We're a group that raises money for conservation and research of our favorite family of freshwater fish called cichlids. We've raised over $150,000 for the preservation of our favorite family of fish. I'm perhaps most proud of this accomplishment in my life. The babes are my best friend and confidants in the fish hobby. We have so much fun, and we've done so much good. This small group of women has changed the National American Cichlid Association conventions, and we basically raise hell, have fun, and make money doing it. That sounds like a good time. A babes auction, bitches in the cichlid hobby. Let's go, let's go. That sounds entertaining as hell, and it seems like there's alcohol around. Oh, it's gonna be a good time. Cheryl said the babes auction is supposed to be prime entertainment. Yeah, sounds good. The Triple Crown was their test run of a combined thing. They don't run things in parallel now. Ah, okay. The one last year was in San Antonio. I can't remember its name. And Broom said the babes auction is a crazy middle of the night auction. Goofy things go for huge prices because it's all for donations. And Stephen P said just don't buy the mystery box. Ooh, ominous. That does sound like a really good time though. We got show judging, showroom. This is Saturday. This is like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, registration, booth, kids decorating contest, ALA graduate student poster presentations. We got Colombian fish presentation, Lake Tanganyika cichlids. We got wine and beer tasting. We've got reception bar, combined banquet. Yeah, I thought the class should have some kind of banquet thing. That sounds fun. Hospitality suite and fish vendor room open. Breakdown show tanks. Sunday they do the award presentations and a swap meet. A swap meet, tear down fish show. Yeah, seems like a pretty good lineup. Why is there a search products search bar at the top here? The ALA rare fish auction always has some super rare libraries that go for $500 plus a bag all the time. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Now it says there's a vendor thing. Is there a vendor chart to see which vendors are there? They used to do a huge all-day auction on Sunday. Now they're doing a swap meet. I do like that. Ooh, vendor tables, $100 to $400. So like my club, we did our first auction, and one of the things was like either do all-day auction or you do like a auction that ends in a reasonable amount of time. It's like no in between, right? I think that I'm just getting all-day auction fatigue. I really like the swap meets. It's a bit more social. There's more time to talk to people. Like in the auctions, it's hard to talk with your with friends or just make new friends sometimes because depending on how the sound's set up or just in general when there's someone presenting in the front of the room, it's kind of distracting to be socializing too much, you know? Especially me, like, you guys know how I got a loud laugh, and I'd be laughing all the time, so, you know, it's kind of hard for me to do that in the middle of a freaking auction. Bluegrass Bash. I'm trying to see if there's a vendor chart somewhere of all the vendors that are going to be there. Is there anyone know if there is one? I'm looking for a Facebook page or something. Vendor table, choose option. One table, $100. Rental tank, $30. Oh my. Swap meet table. Okay. Swap meet table. When they did the first swap meeting last year in San Antonio in June, it was in the parking lot on black asphalt and fish were dying left and right. Hopefully it won't be that way this year. Jesus. That does sound terrible. Ross says swaps are better for breeders. I kind of think swaps are better than for everyone. I don't know. At some point in the auctions, the all-day auctions, the time investment can be significant to the point where, you know, if you're waiting there for 6 hours, 1 hour drive both way, so eight hours, and you're going for one specific fish, I guess you could just bump it up, you know what I mean? But I kind of like just being able to just buy stuff, you know, even if it's a little bit more expensive. So swaps are definitely better for breeders as far as being able to price things in a way that works for you, but I think buying stuff is kind of nice too. So full convention, a swap table is, and again, why I like swaps better is also this, it's more social. You get people trading stuff too, like breeders bring stuff, they sell stuff, but you also get a lot of trading, more time to socialize and like promote yourself as a person or as a business, or have your thing up, like things you don't get to do necessarily in an auction. Jeff said I prefer a swap. Yeah, that makes sense. That is bad about outside and Fish Dine. I'm sure they'll fix it this time around. And Broom said I bring rare stuff to swaps, I bring standard stuff to auctions. I like swaps better, but the ACA is basically known for its huge auction. There's definitely a place for both. I think for me, I like when auctions are more, I think the focused ones are interesting. If you can make sure there's enough competition, there's nice stuff in them, then, you know, sometimes the pricing can still be good for whoever's selling stuff, but I don't know. Swaps seem like a more surefire thing. Also, sometimes, depending on how big an auction is, I do feel bad for certain fish, how they sit in the bags on the tables. Like, it gets a little chaotic. And I bet the stress in that is a contributor to some auction day losses. All right, anyone know where I can find the vendors for this thing? Or about us. Okay, we got a Facebook link here. It's a private group. Fantastic. That's useless. Well, we got the speakers here. We did go through those. What's with the shrimps? Love shrimps, man. I mean, shrimps are great. That's what's up with the shrimps. They're taking over the world. Broom said, I don't think I've seen a vendor room layout for this year. Ryan Bushnell says, we're all fish snobs, so normal fish don't impress us anymore. I mean, in an auction, there's some normal fish that would impress me. Like, one reason why I don't, you know, they say like stores or people that sell fish, it's like auctions or competition. I mean, I would say 90% of fish are never in auctions unless a store or something donates it. There's just so much stuff that people never breed or bring to these things. I don't think auctions can really compete on variety. Yes, you have like maybe 5 to 10 lots that are super rare stuff you'll never find anywhere else that a store would never even get, but at the end of the swap, if I have fish left, I usually sell them for half asking price. Yep. Next, I got a report for our largest club auction. A spawning group of CW111s went for $400. 5 or 6 fish. That's actually not too bad from the prices I've seen on those. I'm scrolling through. This is a PRAC auction. I just like wanted to get some. Let's see. What's PRAC? Peel Regional Aquarium Club. This is in Toronto. Shout out to Connect. I love auction.fish for it's just so easy to just look at a random auction and see what's in it. We got guppies. We got some yellows, L199s. Ross said, Mickham, that's a deal. Yeah, that's a pretty good $400 for 5 or 6 Vulcan Corys. Jeff said they've been going down, thankfully. They're still pretty expensive. I mean, I think Dan still sells them for like $300 each or something. Dan's Fish CW111. No, $200. My bad. That's affordable. Excuse me. Yeah, shrimp. Are you buying fish on this trim? I'm not buying fish right now. We're just kind of just yapping about random fish events and stuff. Because beside Aquashella NJ, is there like a big difference in vendors there? Because one of the things curious about Aquashella, I've never gone to one of these where like the bigger companies have a table there, and I'm kind of curious like what they have You know what I mean? I want some Sarah Catch cups, man. That's all I want in life. Are they gonna have them at the Sarah table? That's all I really care about. Imbroom said you can get them for maybe 140 each on the low end for young ones. That's the CW111s. Yeah, I'm good. That's pretty expensive. Wait, how long has my freaking camera been out? My bad. I didn't realize it was been dark. We're supposed to have some background footage, man. My bad. Let me get some background. Hold up. Hold up. Ugh. You guys never tell me anything. With that said, most of the larger companies are display only with no sales. When I was in Aquashella, Chicago, and Dallas, it was fairly occupied by larger companies. No sales? Well, what's the point of even going? Meet some representatives that don't even know. Okay, New Jersey. Fine, then what? Yeah, where's the Just One More Fish table? Yeah, New Jersey, Just One More Fish. Let's go. Right by the Garden of Eden. No, wait, this is 2025. My bad. Ah, how did I get to 2025 Aquashella? They got an outdated floor plan link. Or I'm in the wrong place. Okay, Aquashella. I'm going to aquashella.com. I must have somehow gotten on a dead link. Okay. This is 2026. You can buy stuff from other sellers, just not yet Fluval. Red9 YouTube said you look like a guppy breeder. Breed them guppies. I don't think I will. Cheryl said, Mitchell, I need to get with you to see what quarries you may have available for the KY trip. Yeah, wait, Mitchell, you're going to the bash? Because, man, I see that's a great example of someone, if they're going to an event, especially a swap, then that would encourage me. I don't think I can make it, though. Mitchell said, oh, I'll know better what I'll have closer to the event. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what you'll have ahead of time sometimes. Let's see. Pretty displays of empty Seacom bottles. That sucks, man. Sell some stuff at your table. There's still plenty of available tables at some of these. We got Small World Aquatics. They're up in here. Predatory Fins, AGP sub. Tropical Fish Hobbies Magazine. Yeah, there's Seacom. Stingray Contest. Empty Table to Table. Mark of Excellence Aquatics. Cats Aquatics. Bettas. Dr. Tim's. Pick Fish. Pet World Experience. Aquaterra Exotics. Dustin's. Fish Tanks. Father Fish. Jeff said I may hit you up later in May. Mitchell. Imbroom said probably CW049, Red Ramundi, CW038, CW102, and a few others. Damn. Some of those are worth driving out for, I'm not gonna lie. Lifeguard, Fluval, Wild Fish Tanks, yeah, some of the usual. Oh, there is a Maryland event happening. That's probably maybe worth going towards. I think our club is going to have a table there. We might have some like member bred fish on the table or something. But the Maryland Aquarium and Hobbyists, they're finally having another event. And it's actually closer to me than events usually are. May 30th, 160 Truck House Road, Severna Park, Maryland. Early vendor setup Friday, May 29th. They usually put on a pretty good event with a lot of raffle prizes. There's usually quite a lot of raffle prizes. And they usually do a Kahoot quiz game. And the winners get prizes in that. That's one of the things I liked about it the most. And, yeah. There's usually like a Red Sea Aquarium setup grand prize or something like that. And then you got a bunch of vendors. That's one I'm probably going to go to May 30th. Maryland Aquarium Hobbyist. The Red Ramundi are a bucket list Corey for me. Yeah, I mean, my bucket list Corey is basically, I think it actually is the CW49, because that's the, no wait, no it's not. That's a cool one though. No, I want the Barbados, the different Barbados. Oh, CW038. That's the one that I was thinking 49 was guaranteed. Yep. CW38. This is the one I bid on at the Clash. I bid it up a good bit, but didn't ultimately leave with them. Definitely a bucket list one for me. The Red Ramundi is also really cool. That's one worth spending a lot of money on. So, hey, if you're going, Red Ramundi. Aspidoris Ramundi Red. Pretty crazy looking thing, man. Bluegrass Bash, let's go. Alright guys, what else we got? We got anything else on your mind? And Broom said, I'm really working on making CW038 more affordable. I have a boatload of them going on right now. Man, but it's a shame if some of them fell off that boat, Mitchell. I'm gonna have to make it to an event you're going to. I really want that. I want that fish one day. I mean, between them and the Barbados, I think I'd be happy with either one, honestly. I like how both of them look, but yeah, that fish is on my list for sure. Cheryl said CW038, loving the Barbados and C112s so far. Yeah, man, Mitchell putting in that work, man. All right, we got anything else? I feel like we solved the main questions of the stream. Keystone Clash canceled. Some possible reasons why. Shout out to Steven and Jenna for some insight on that. I mean, ultimately, I feel like clearly things didn't go as well as they could have. Perhaps not as well as they should have. Shit happens. Hopefully next year they get shit together. Hopefully next year there's a bit of a better plan, better operation. Do some volunteer recruiting heavily. Maybe try and fully accept different parts of the community that, you know, have supported it in the past. Cheryl said, I want to make a whole section in the basement just for Skylar MyStack species. Yeah. I think they're the coolest looking Corys overall. I have other ones that I like, but yeah, this is a crazy looking fish, man. It's just a crazy looking fish. Not really too much left to desire there. Mick said, hardest working isopod agenda. Let's go. Hardest working fish stream. We're still up in here. We're still up. We're still up in here, man. I'm so tired, bro. Like, I did such a short set, but my body is like, I haven't performed in so long. And we do this thing where like I go and I run and jump over everyone. Wait, I'll show you guys. 1 second. Let me show you guys. You can't really hear it because the audio from the camera recording it couldn't pick up like the actual music. But in real life, you could hear the music and what we were saying. But like the way we had it set up, I didn't actually do any rapping. I was just kind of like on stage dancing around. So I started rapping in the last thing, and as soon as I started, I don't know why, bro. The crowd just started fucking screaming. I feel like it just gotta be the anticipation. But then when I did the jump over everyone, oh my god, bro, that was a good moment. Wait, I'll show you guys. Hold up. Check this out. This is what I was up to the other night. So I'm over here on the left of the stage, and I'm about to jump over 3 people in a line in the middle. This is like me recording the back of a phone screen, so this is pretty bootleg stuff, but probably the biggest crowd I performed in front of. 1 second. That's me on the right. So it's hard to hear because like it's just that camera audio, but like I'm rapping, they're already like, I can't hear myself on stage, But then near the end of this video, like when I jump, it goes even to another level. And it's just like, so here I'm on the left, and they're lined up, and now I'm about to jump. This show was a good moment, man. It was a fun time. Hardest working fish stream, man. What can I say? And I got to meet Fetty Wap, so good shit. Mitchell Broom said, "Man, I'm so boring." I think you're pretty interesting, man. I think you're pretty interesting. It was one night. Every now and then. Bomba said, "Oh shit, yeah, Bomba, I opened for Fetty Wap. You might actually know who that is." Coexist Music Group. That show was lit. It was lit. UMBC had Fetty Wap. I think they sold out all the tickets for wherever the venue amount they wanted to have for him. So it was a pretty large crowd, and we're part of like the opening ensemble. We got to do a couple songs. But yeah, I knew my one job was just to nail the jump over everyone, and if I did that, that was the end impression, and I think that worked. So yeah, this is a group photo we did with him real quick. We did stay afterwards to meet him. You might, if you don't know him by name, you've probably heard one of his songs. But this is us with the Fetty Wap on the right. 1 second. Baby, won't you come my way? Yeah. There we go. Ha ha ha. So he's got one eye. If you're not familiar with him, that's like one of his defining things. Really cool guy. One of the coolest like celebrity people I've met. He talked to everyone. Didn't seem to be in too much of a rush. You know, people wanted to take a picture with him. He wasn't like, it wasn't a big deal. And he just talked. Everyone that performed, he said what's up to, and I gotta dap him up. I was like, yo, I seen you're on the Radar freestyles, man. The vocals, I wasn't let down. Like the vocals were just like you've been sounding on those. So good shit. It was a good time. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. That's why I did the stream early today, because I was like, I can't. Mama said, didn't he just get out of jail? Yep. Did he perform that? He did. 20 years ago, mosh pits and crowd surfing was great. My body can't take it anymore. Yeah, I'm still in the Coexist Music Group. We haven't really been active for a while, but our friend was doing the DJ opening thing, and he hit the bat phone. So we had 2 days notice. 2 days notice for that performance. So it was definitely, you know, luckily we've done a lot of performances, and we just did songs we've done before. But shit, it was still kind of like, oh god damn. All right, hopefully fun stream was good. We basically just hung out all stream. Keystone Clash, yeah, better luck next year, I hope. NEC convention in April, Revenge of the Scotty. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see if we hear about a mass resignation of some fish club or something coming up. Definitely keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, I appreciate you all. I love hanging out with you guys. A lot of people that watch the stream are local, some aren't. I like that I get to be on here, be myself. We're all ourselves in the chat. We talk about things. Even something like the Clash being canceled, we can kind of go through different reasons, look at it, you know, try and be as fair as possible, and just, you know, community it up. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back. You know, I'll be back soon. Nick said 2 days, that's nothing if you want to rehearse. Dang, yeah, luckily we only had to do a couple songs, but yeah. All right, don't be a stranger. Hit me up in the Discord if you need anything. I'll see you guys again. It's in my tanks. Oh my god. It's in my tanks, and I'm a YouTuber. No! No! YouTuber boycott! We did it! We did it, folks! That's right. Sign the petition today. All right, in my tanks. And I am out. Holy.